Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Mythrill Monthly. Yippee!
Yay!
That's your cute voice.
Yay!
Yippee!
Demon McCall.
Oh no! I mean, literally. We have Chris
Yeah.
here.
I mean, there is a demon, it's just the wrong one.
He's got the little horns.
Real.
Real. But hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a hot minute since the last one of these. Elle, do you actually know when the last one of these was?
July? No, before July, I
Before
think.
July. I know the last one we did was a December to January catch up. And this one is a biggie.
It was May.
Thank you for the gift sub, Ash. Oh my goodness, oh my god. Yeah, okay, that was May. See, for some reason the only one that I remember is the April Fool's one, because Toast Thunder is iconic.
No, it was April.
Wait, it was April.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm reading like 5 different things right now.
Oh yeah, we're very we haven't done this in a while, is the point. So I'm a little scrambled, but we're ready. This is going to be very, very fun. I hope you're all having a lovely day, chat. For anyone who hasn't seen this before, Mythrill Monthly is the Mythrill SMP's lore recap podcast that we stream live on this Twitch channel. Was supposed to be monthly. Due to life, it has not been monthly.
It has been Mythrill.
But it has been Mythrill, and that's what we're here to see. So
arguably that's more important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of, obviously we have me here today. We have my lovely host of the hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have guests. We have the lovely Chris Chilzo and Lizzie Foxy, who we love. Thank you for posting their links, Elle. Everyone should go and follow them, because we love them. But yeah, today is gonna be us reading through around 27 catch-ups of all the lore that has taken place from February to July. Y'all better have snacks, y'all better have a drink. I am drinking Monster, which is a terrible idea because whilst it gives me energy, it also hurts my throat. So
Girly Pop, it's 7 PM. Why are you drinking a Monster?
Yeah,
That's
because
crazy.
I'm fucking feral. I made mistakes. I have made mistakes, and I know I have made mistakes, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I need the energy. It would have been worse if I had it yesterday. Oh, not yesterday. Today, tomorrow. I'm doing great.
Okay.
Before we get into the catch-ups, though, other than having our lovely, lovely special guests, I think it's important to remind everyone about all the other people who made this podcast happen. Obviously, Ella's here. You should go follow their Twitch. Sky made our opening music stinger, which is very, very cute. Mars for doing mine and Ella's PNGs, which are lovely and cute. And the lovely Kayla, who made our background. Because I just adore them. And it's been a while, so we're starting off with a thanks to them. And some little additional things. If you are in the Mythrill Discord, you have probably seen our announcements with the death of Twitter, with everyone exiting, which is very funny because it's X. We have created a Blue Sky list, which is kind of just like a thread. If you follow it, you can see posts from all the Mythrill members. They might not all be Mythrill related, but you can keep up to date with whatever they're doing if you have a Blue Sky account. So Ella's just put the link in the chat. Highly recommend doing that. You can also find the link by clicking the butterfly on the Mythrill SMP card, which I highly recommend everybody does because it's a fun time. Because the server is ending, hopefully, before the end of the year, we're not making a new Blue Sky account for it, but we have this list as sort of a replacement. With the end of the server in mind, other than this Mythrill Monthly, the next one will likely be our last, if everything goes according to plan. There will definitely be one before the end of the year. Another one before the end of the year. If that is the last or not will really depend, but it's my intention for it to be. And it will cover everything that has happened that we have not covered today till the finale. And then everything that happens after the finale is just going to have written catch-ups. I think I've mentioned in my own streams before that I'm not going to be writing catch-ups for everybody's post-finale thing, just a select few that are relevant to the main plot, and then everyone else will be doing their own personal closes that will be posted into the Mythrill Public Discord. So that's all out there. Because of the large span of months this current catch-up is covering, I cannot guarantee that all of these streams are going to be read in order. We had a couple of issues in getting the notes compiled, in remembering exactly where everyone's streams went, and some of them have been purposefully reordered to make more sense in the timeline. So some things are going to be intentionally out of place, some things are going to be accidentally out of place. We're just going to deal with it. And as always, I am dyslexic and I have written all of these, so if there are any errors, sorry. But I think that is the main things I wanted to get out of the way. Depending on how long this podcast goes on, we may save some time at the end to answer any chat questions. So if any of you have things you're dying to know about the server or just want to hear us talk about, we might do that at the end. If we go really far over time, we might not, but it could be a cute thing. Oh, and I'll jump back to the blue sky thing for 1 more second. The way that social media works is it's a lot more reliant on like reposts and stuff. It's a little bit like Tumblr from my understanding of how the algorithm works. So if you like our stuff and you like the Mythrill stuff, retweet the heck out of it. Or like repost, I get. It's not tweeting, it's not Twitter.
Blue sky it.
Blue sky it. Blue sky. I just had the foot. Elle, you're afraid of butterflies, and that is the blue sky logo. How does that make you feel?
I don't want to talk about it.
Talk about it.
I literally don't. Do you know how on like iPhones you can change the cover?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I have mine changed. It is not a butterfly. I hate.
What's
It's the only thing I
change it to?
dislike. It's just the brown box at the minute. I'm gonna change it to something actually decent later.
Should change it to a corgi. I don't know why.
Yeah, I might do.
Or just make it a bird.
British.
How British of you.
That's what I was.
What's funny is I said corgi, but I was picturing a Shiba.
They're two different dogs.
I know, but they can come in similar colors. I think that's where my brain got confused. Anyway, without any more preamble, I suppose we should get in with it, and I should stop procrastinating since I am going first. With the reading. So we're gonna go like mostly
Because we've got a lot.
We've got a lot, and we've already been here for 13 minutes. So
yeah, we got to lock in.
We gotta lock in. We gotta get going. We are starting off with the planning. Did I spell that right? Yes, the word planning just looks ugly. But yes, the planning, which I believe was a Bagel Queen stream featuring a heck of a lot of other people. But anyway, we shall begin. So, sneaking into Jay's office, Lilith steals the will Artemis wrote for Sheba before heading down to the sanctuary in pursuit of the dog hybrid. Despite their dislike of each other, Lilith manages to convince Sheba to act as her guard dog as she runs her errands, dragging him along as she makes her way to Mars's clinic. After finding the Valley's resident doctor, Lilith asks Mars for help in keeping her awake, explaining that she keeps basically falling into a coma every time she falls asleep. Concerned but overall unsure how to help her, Mars recommends some high caffeinated tea to Lilith before sending her and Sheba away, but not before Lilith looks through his confidential patient notes and rudely questions how he lost his arm. With her first goal completed, Lilith and Sheba head off in search of Fizuk, finding him within the ruined harbour. Hiding her distaste for the Warlock, a hatred that has only grown after she learned of his involvement in Artemis's death, Lilith requests Fizuk's aid in catering for an event in hopes to Let me restart a sentence. Lilith requests Fizik's aid in catering for an event she hopes to plan, subtly guilt-tripping him as she talks of how she'd usually ask Artemis for help, but can't seem to find the half-elf anywhere. With Fizik's agreement to help, Lilith and Sheba head to their next destination, Honey's Island. Finding the angel quickly, Lilith explains her idea for a lavish event to lift people's spirits, to which Honey enthusiastically agrees to help with. This enthusiasm only seems to grow as Lilith mentions Fizik's involvement, with Honey suggesting that he isn't well liked before her tune changes completely, excitedly planning how to set up the party. With everything going Lilith's way, her and Sheba return to the sanctuary. Questioning what Lilith is up to, the half-demon sidesteps Sheba's questions mid-argument by informing him of Artemis's death, though she refrained from giving the hybrid the will Artemis had written for him. Having approached after hearing the yelling, Katie becomes enraged at what Lilith says, not believing that Artemis is dead and joining in on the argument. Frustrated, Lilith sends Katie to the tavern to find Artemis's grave and see the proof herself, which the sea elf does. At Lilith's statement of there being a grave, Sheba realizes she's being serious, despite not joining Katie in looking for it. He listens as Lilith admits joking about the death of her best friend would be too far, even for her, before he storms off. With her goals accomplished and feeling both emotionally and physically drained from the day, Lilith returns to her home to plan out her next moves, falling asleep not long after with one thought echoing in her head. Revenge. Woo!
Ooh.
Very slow.
There's the first one. The next few are a little on the shorter side than that one, so
Yeah.
you all are lucky for that. And I believe you're next, Elle. And you are doing Fuel the Illusion, which is a Jimmy Can Fly stream. So whenever you're ready.
Desperate for power, Jamie works sleeplessly in an attempt to learn more about the necklace they discovered within Panky's cave. Working through coughing fits as she notes how its gem has changed from a milky white to a brilliant pink. Thinking back, Jamie also notes that the necklace has glowed when Lizzie had given her a potion not long ago. Also wondering how she was able to regain her energy, despite not drinking the healing liquid. It could have been a coincidence, but perhaps the strange events are related. With nothing coming of her research, Jamie sets their sights on finding more magical energy, needing to preserve their health and fuel their illusions no matter the cost.
Yippee! That one's done very, very quickly. Thank you, Elle.
Yay.
And that means
It's me now.
we have another Jimmy Can Fly stream,
Icon.
and this time it's written by the lovely Chris Chozo.
Yay. Okay,
There's
do
a
you want me to
title?
wait for you to write the title? Or do you want me to just
Title
go for
is
it?
written. You may go.
Oh, okay. Having been lost to their research for weeks, Jamie grows tired of staying within their home, deciding to take a break and go on a much-needed walk outside. She finds herself heading to the sanctuary, looking through the shops and thinking to themselves before coming across Brooke, the human heading out for work dressed in an adorable maid dress. Greeting her friend, Jamie takes note of Brooke's poor health and grows concerned, offering to walk Brooke home. The two talk as they walk, Jamie finding herself smiling throughout the whole conversation, delighted by Brooke's company. This realization is coupled with another, how similar Brooke is to someone else Jamie had once been close with. Unsettled by this, Jamie is quick to make an excuse to leave once she's brought Brooke home, running away teary-eyed as memories long buried resurface to the forefront of the witch's mind.
Yippee!
Yeah,
That
slow.
brought up a question in my head. In
Mhm.
Arc 1, Sky wore a maid outfit. In Arc 3, Brooke wore a maid outfit. Who do we think
Yeah.
is most likely in Arc 2 to have worn a maid outfit?
Pardon? Oh, wait, who in Arc 2?
No, nobody actually wore one in Arc 2. Who do you think would be most
No.
likely to? Who would it be
Mel.
funny?
I would
Yeah,
assume
that
I was
checks
gonna say
out.
Phil for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, that's the most logical answer. Who would it be the funniest to see in a maid outfit?
Considering Brooks,
Marsarcy.
it was Brooks' work uniform. I think it makes sense to be Mel
Yeah.
when you put the dots together.
Oh my god. Wouldn't it be just really funny if Allura just rocked up one day in a maid outfit
Oh,
while they're
don't.
disguised as Artemis, no less.
Don't.
Guys, that's a different image.
I think that would have been real funny, though. I think that would have been real funny.
That's when people know it's not her.
Guys, that's not me!
Starts wearing the maid dress.
I think there is an Artemis skin in a mid-dress somewhere out there.
I can believe it. I can believe it.
I
Okay.
think you made it, Jay, at the time.
Did I? I don't remember doing that. I've made many a skin. I don't remember doing that. Maybe I did. I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember.
My memory is not the best. Speaking of characters with bad memories,
Hey. What kind of
Oh, what a
transition was that one?
transition!
it's a great transition as we move into expensive mistakes, which I always read as expensive milkshakes because it's that Fall Out Boy song title.
Yes, expensive milkshake.
Expensive.
That's exactly what I was going
Unironically,
for.
that's how I read that title of that song for a good 3 years before I realized it was mistakes.
I was making such expensive milkshakes.
No, because I knew that's not the line in the song, but I just thought it was the title of it, and I'm stupid. Anyway, whenever you're ready, Lizzie.
Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. Anyway.
Good, you're good.
Sitting with Shroom Study, Lizzie reads through a book on flowers as Shroom contemplates if Shroom should really go through the trouble of creating a memory potion. Lizzie fears that Shroom won't like what Shroom finds, but decides it's needed if Shroom wants to help free everyone from the valley. As a creature who once lived amongst the gods, Lizzie could have important information hidden in Shroom's forgotten memories. Shroom cannot simply ignore that possibly, just because what Shroom learns might be unpleasant. Stealing Shroom's fear and gathering up the needed ingredients, Lizzie prepares to attempt to make the potion, procrastinating within Shroom's new and unfinished basement by reading through some of the books littered around. The first book Lizzie reads lists the people Shroom had done business with since arriving in Infinia. The second is more journal-like, listing issues the Hunho had with Shroom's family in the past with little detail, whilst the third contains a list of potions Lizzie had invented. At the end of the book, Lizzie is shocked to find what is listed as one of Shroom's creations, the love potion. With this invention remembered, Lizzie feels more memories come rushing back to Shroom, no longer needing to make a memory potion anymore. Lizzie recalls as Shroom panics that Shroom had created a new potion of unknown effect, desiring to show it to the humans and get their input on how to finish the formula, only for it to be stolen in the dead of night. That potion then became the first love potion, being abused by the humans and getting the Hunho banished back to the realm of the gods. Memories still unfocused and painfully filling Lizzie's head, the Hunho slowly breaks down, haunted by this new remembrance.
What? I pulled up a
Yeah.
picture on the whiteboard and realized for some reason it's not adjusted correctly to fit the whiteboard. So I'm just frantically trying to fix it now.
You got it. It's fine.
It's okay. It's okay. I think
It's
that
trying its best.
it's trying. That's not cropped correctly. That's not cropped correctly. And I have the next one to read. It's a very short. It's me when I look at something and I'm like, haven't I read this one before? No, you haven't.
Yes,
Jay.
a million
This
times.
hasn't been on a I mean, yes,
Yeah.
I've read it a million times, but this hasn't been on a catch up. This hasn't existed. Is that good? Yeah, that's okay. That's better. Me live fixing my mistakes. There are many of them. Many of them. Okay. There we go. I was trying to show people how cute Lizzie's house is.
I spent so long on that house.
You did, and I love it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Anyway, enough stalling for me. I am the problem here. I am the problem. But we're going to another nail in the coffin. A stream that I did with the lovely Beanie. And this picture is no longer relevant on the screen, so now it's going away again. Goodbye.
Aww.
Goodbye, pretty house. You're dead. What? Anyway. Jay informs Bean of Artemis's death, much to the hybrid dismay and distress. Overcome with emotion, Bean lashes out at Jay as they struggle to process the revelation, shaking with fury and sadness all the while. Doing her best to comfort her friend, Jay gives Bean the will Artemis wrote for them before bringing him to the tavern, telling Bean that Artemis wanted them to take care of their dog, Rupert. Anger sated, now giving way to pure sadness, Bean visits Artemis's grave before returning home to their island, Rupert following along behind them as a silent comfort.
Rupert, my boy.
Rupert the doggo, the doggo. We love doggos.
Rupert's the real one. He's the OG.
True.
For real.
He's been
for
here
real.
since
I
Arc
named
1.
that boy.
You did.
I
All
did
those.
that.
It's so weird to think about how long he's been around.
Look at my son.
Look at my
No, that's
son.
literally what I'm like with
Look
Rupert.
at the blood-stained flowers. I wonder what happened to
Yeah.
stain them. We're onto longer ones now, and I don't think they're gonna get shorter
Indeed.
from this point onwards. So we're in for a
No, now
ride.
they're all like short novels.
Now they're all
Yeah.
novels that I have written because
Yeah.
notes are long and information has to be written down.
Conveyed.
Okay.
I cry. On you go with, I believe this is Rose's Allura stream.
And lid.
Oh, Rosa and Lid.
Mm-hmm. Well, it says lid. That's not.
Oh
Maybe
no,
Rose and lid.
that's just because it's referencing off of the last thing that Rose
Okay.
did. It is
I think it's
a
Rose and you
Rose,
then.
me, and
You.
Allura stream.
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready. Mwah.
Having recently informed Lid of Artemis's death, Rose realizes they don't actually know how the half-elf died. Deciding to seek out Jay for answers, heading to the Fair's office, Rose finds Jay and asks their question, learning that Warren killed Artemis, and being given a will addressed to them from the half-elf, along with a plushie. Deciding to read the letter later, Rose listens as Jay carefully explains more details of what happened to Artemis, revealing that during the unfortunate event, they also found and captured Allura. At the mention of the shapeshifter, Rose becomes tense as Jay explains how Allura has information that could help them against Warren, that she refuses to share, prompting her to ask if Rose would like to speak with the Puka. Needing a moment to process everything, Rose steps away, eventually deciding that they would like to speak with Allura. They still have no clue how the Puka got their wings, not to mention her knowledge of Warren could help free everyone, if they can get her to tell them. With that in mind, Rose returns to Jay and the two head to Allura's cell. With a final reassurance that Allura is securely locked away and won't be able to hurt them, Jay leaves Rose to confront the Puka. Comforted by the Fae's words, Rose takes a deep breath before entering the room. Greeted with a magical enhanced glass floor, Rose sees Allura moping in the corner of the room below them, making them startle as she realizes who's come to visit her. Timidly start with small talk, Rose builds up the courage to ask Allura their questions, starting with why she went after their, Katie's, and Mars's souls. Rose asks if Allura had any regret of her actions, for the pain and suffering she caused, and surprisingly, Allura admits she does. The Puka cruelly brings up the auction where she returned Rose's wings in exchange for their soul, stating that she should have kept them for herself. Rose desperately asks how Allura got their wings in the first place, the Violet having no memory of how they lost them in the first place, only to be greeted with the Puka's laughter. Allura reveals that she had Rose's wing for a long time. She questions if Rose truly doesn't remember, noticing how Violets aren't meant to live as long as Rose has, making the Violet confused and very afraid. Stumbling over their words as they panic, Rose listens as Allura says they've outlived all of their friends, all of their family, and last as she points out how Rose doesn't even remember them now. Allura taunts Rose, stating that she wasn't the one to take the Viola's wings, but they were taken at her request. Questioning everything they thought they knew, Rose leaves as Allura's cruel voice echoes behind them, barely saying goodbye to Joe before rushing home. Rose takes comfort in the will Artemis left them, grieving the loss of their first friend in the valley and attempting to distract themselves from the realization that they can't remember their own life. Clutching their plushie tightly, Rose decides to head to bed. Artemis's words
Resounding.
resounding as a hollow comfort as Allura's laughter leaks into their dreams.
Woo. Can I just say how fun it is playing an evil character?
Mm-hmm.
I was so nervous for all of the Allura streams where I had to act her live, but it's fun. It's fun just getting to be me.
It's a fun time.
It's
Mhm.
fun just getting to be a little sick and twisted. What can I say?
Yeah.
Sick and twisted.
Sick and twisted.
Yeah.
Speaking of sick and twisted, we have another one. This time with Katie
Sick and twisted.
in
Ooh.
Sinking Heart that will be read by the lovely Chris Chilso.
Okie
Yay.
dokes. After being told of Artemis's death by Lilith, Katie heads to her friend's grave to confirm the demon's words, realizing that they were true, but still struggling to believe them despite the proof. Needing assurance, the sea elf rushes to Jay's home, looking for answers, leaving behind a flower just in case as she departs from the grave. Entering the temple, Katie finds Jay inside, immediately asking her for answers, and rants about Lilith's claims. After taking a moment to calm Katie down, Jay confirms that what Lilith said was true, vaguely explaining to the sea elf the circumstances of Artemis's death as the two head downstairs to sit. Shocked and devastated, Katie collapses into a chair, struggling to breathe as she tries to come to terms with her friend's death. Not sure what else to do, Jay gives Katie the will Artemis wrote for her, hoping it will give her some closure. Looking for a distraction from the distressing news, Katie spots a painting of someone she doesn't recognize on the wall. Asking who's depicted in it alongside Jay, the Fae explains the pictures of her and her wife, Sky, at their wedding, an event that took place just before the CL's arrival in the valley. She explains that Sky has been missing for many, many months, blaming Warren for her absence. Moving on from the somber memory, who is now imprisoned within the sanctuary. Intrigued, Katie adamantly asks to speak with the Puka, which Jay agrees to, leading her towards the crystal throne and explaining how the magic works to bring her to and from the cell safely. Without much more thought, Katie allows herself to be transported to the top of the temple. Anxious, she stands before the cell containing her tormentor. After a moment, she enters the room, looking down at the imprisoned Puka below her. Allura greets her immediately, which sets Katie off, leading her to yell and rant at Allura for all the pain she's caused her, for stealing her soul and lying about bringing them home. Allura rebuffs that it's not her fault Katie was too stupid to understand their deal. Home can mean a lot of things after all. Starting back and forth, starting a back and forth argument between the two of them. Katie asks if Allura knew she wouldn't be able to go home again, to which the Puka says no, but she did have her theories after the kingdom closed its doors. Theories that Katie confirmed oh so kindly. Bringing out Panky's staff, Katie demands Allura stop messing with her, stunning the Puka to silence for the first time all conversation. Katie tells Allura to stop giving her nightmares, but the shapeshifter denies having any part in causing them, being left powerless after the battle at the Moon Phase Tower. This only serves to anger Katie more. She shouts at Allura as she bangs the staff against the cell, magic shrouding it and transforming its appearance. A curved, dark blue staff takes the weapon's place, curling around a glowing blue gem at its tip, shining brightly along the Sea Elf's rage. Allura asks what she could have possibly gained from tormenting a pathetic, miserable whelp like her. Her own eye are roaring as she states that she had the power to torture Katie like she claims, she would have used it to escape instead. One stripped her of all the magic she had, leaving Allura powerless and at his mercy. There's nothing she can do, no way for her to hurt anyone anymore other than through words, a skill which the Puka puts to great use. Allura tells Katie that she hopes those nightmares haunt her for the rest of her life, but no matter what she thinks, they have nothing to do with her. Confused and so very angry, Katie declares that should Allura ever make it out of her cell, Katie will kill her. And with that, the sea elf leaves, heading back down to the main room of the temple and coming face to face with Jay once more. Despite the Fae's attempts to comfort and check on her, Katie insists that she's fine and storms off, heading back to her shop to read through the will Artemis left for her. She wonders what she should do now, reminiscing about Artemis and how she was almost like family to her, being the only other elf she knew within the valley. She wants nothing more than to talk with her again, to take comfort in Artemis like a child would with their mother, but she can't. Artemis is gone. Everyone else is so wrapped up in their own problems, leaving Katie all alone. Slowly trying to calm down as she rests upon her bed, unwilling to sleep but exhausted from the day's events, Katie decides that Allura must be lying. She has to be.
We love that angsty, angsty angst.
So
She's
much
gotta be lying.
There's
angst.
so much angst. I love how the one picture I have for this is Katie at the grave.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Bozo.
R.I.P.
L.
Bozo. Also,
was-
I have
Alright, people.
The amount of people who put
I have this
those
picture
bouquets down as well.
also in my gallery.
Oh yeah, I
Over
remember that
again
one.
on the street. Take the hit. Take the shot.
I debated it. I was like, do I do it?
Oh,
I'm
we
in my
go.
mafia skin as well.
You are. But we go from something rather sad, rather angsty and to more angst, but a little more wholesome. Which is
Are we sure?
rest your I believe so.
I think so.
Which is Rest Your Weary Bones, which is a me stream, but it's being read by Lizzie.
I take your stream now.
You've
This is mine.
stolen from me. I can't believe this.
Yeah,
You get
I
to
did.
read me being sad. Yippee! I cried in this stream. I cried
I'm
live.
aware. You did.
I did. I'm a
You did
method
do that.
actor. Anyway,
Oh my god.
whenever
Anyways.
you're ready, Lizzie.
Rest your weary bones. I'm not gonna read the whole thing like that, but I wanted to do that.
Just a fucking uwu voice. That was cute. Okay, continue.
That's not my uwu voice. This is my uwu voice. Uwu.
Oh my god, let's go back. Let's continue reading. Let's move away from you.
Actually, All Might. I'm sorry, All Might.
Sorry.
I'm not even gonna fucking start. I can't. Read, Lizzie.
I don't want
Read.
it.
My name is Azuka Midori. Sorry, go on.
I'm dead.
Gotcha.
Don't put us in a room ever again.
I'm
The weeds
uncomfortable
are
with the
here.
energy we've made in the studio today.
I love the energy we've made in the studio today.
I don't know how to feel about the energy in the studio today.
Oh, I
Gotcha.
know you love it.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay, when you're ready, Lizzie. Fuck.
Stop! Eager to learn more of the origins of the Eternal Rose keeping him alive, Mars heads to the Sanctuary in search of Jay, hoping she might have some insight into the god who created it. Finding his friend sat upon the small stage, Mars makes his presence known by begging. Oh, by begging? Oh, before begging. Okay, sorry. Wait, is it?
Beginning.
Beginning.
That's not how you spell beginning.
I'm dyslexic.
before begging to rant. Yeah, sorry.
Just continue.
Before beginning to rant about his recent research, so caught up in his rambles, he doesn't notice her sad expression. Despite her somber mood, Jay takes Mars to Artemis's house, recognizing the name of the god, Lauren, from one of her books on elven culture. The Fae hides her sadness as they enter the elf's home, leading Mars to the bookshelf and helping search through it. They learn that Warren's predecessor, the former god of creation, was responsible for creating the rose. However, the discovery only brings them more questions. With their research concluded, Mars begins to search the house for Artemis, finally feeling ready to look for her in the eye again after everything. His impassioned search is cut off by Jay, asking him to sit as she tells him of Artemis' death. The Fae apologizes for not telling him sooner, having been caught looking for a way to escape the valley, as well as telling everyone else of the elf's passing. But all Mars cares about is how Jay is feeling. Jay attempts to brush off Mars' concerns, but he refuses to let her, causing the already fragile Fae to break down. As she cries, Jay blames herself for Artemis' death, as well as everything bad that has happened within the valley. She's meant to be the smart one, the wise Fae, the scholar, the one everyone looks to for answers. But she had no idea what she's doing. If she hadn't come to the valley, Jay muses aloud as she cries, then none of this would be happening. Everything would have been better if she just stayed alone. Mars does everything he can to comfort her, holding Jay close as he reminds her she can't control everything, despite how much she may want to. He tells her they'll figure things out, that they'll find a way to make things better together, but Jay says no. She hurts Mars too much. She reasons. She can't do it again. Noting her exhaustion, Mars brings Jay to Artemis's bed, sitting her on the plush surface as he continues to comfort her. Jay admits that she's never had to grieve anyone before. it being one of the few things she's not experienced in her long life. The anguish of losing one of her first friends mixed with her responsibility to protect everyone left her scrambling to cope, falling apart under the pressure and leaving her exhausted. Assuring her that Artemis wouldn't blame her for anything, Mars recites some advice his father gave him, telling Jay to treat her grief with kindness, like an esteemed guest, and in doing so, it will eventually leave. As her doctor, and the only one in the valley for that matter, Mars decides to put Jay on bed rest, refusing to take no for an answer. At the phase hesitation, Mars agrees to take up some of her usual jobs while she rests, leaving Jay with no other option but to take his advice. Together, they return to Jay's home, Mars wanting to ensure she goes to sleep instead of rushing off to her office the moment he leaves. He thanks Jay for the books and her help with his research, before leaving to let her sleep, asking Tashi to look after her while he's gone. With the Fae now resting, Mars heads to Artemis's grave, paying his respects, musing that she, of all people, is able to die, then maybe he will too, and saying goodbye, returning to his own home as the moon begins to rise.
That's kind of
My throat
wild,
hurts.
though.
We sad about that one. Oh, I was so sad.
I think everyone was sad.
Everyone was sad. Oh.
And then everyone was sad.
And then everyone got sadder.
But then I came back, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yippee!
No,
Spoilers!
no, you're actually not. No, you're spoiling the next Mythrill Monthly.
Oh
What
my
the hell?
god! I can't
God.
believe it. Elle, I can't believe
We
you
have to
done
bleep
it.
that in the edit.
What a
Great.
shame.
As if
What
I'm
a
gonna put the
shame.
effort into edit
No, I know.
this.
No, I know.
What a shame.
It's still funny though. I mean, technically I could use a YouTube editor to cut it out, but I'm not doing that either. I'll just give you your head a little kiss, Elle. Mwah. No response,
Yeah.
fine. I guess I'll just
Sorry,
not love
I
me.
was reading a message. I'm
not even
I'm
paying attention to what we're
I'm
doing.
submitting my
Ah.
essay.
Oh, look at this multitasker. Look at this.
Being an academic weapon could not be me.
Literally, y'all are reading Mythrill Law out. I'm sat here I was finishing my essay the whole
I'm
time.
sat here reading academic texts. We are not the same.
We are not the same. I am sat here staring into space because if I do anything else while someone else is reading, I will lose my mind. Anyway, speaking of reading, I have to read now. And
You're
it's
at the spa.
It's a day
Yeah,
at the spa.
you get a cute one. Kinda.
Yeah, kinda. There's implications, but kinda. This is a stream featuring Honey, Jelly, Rose, Lid, and Brooke.
Yeah.
This stream made me so unsettled.
Wow, I'm sure nothing bad will happen to that person.
Yippee!
I'm sure no bad things will happen.
No bad things happen ever. It's a Mythrill SMP. Guys, what is our catchphrase?
Let's recite the motto.
Let's just say the motto. Nothing bad ever happens on the Mythrill SMP. We think we're funny. Anyway,
We are funny. We're hilarious.
definitely. Anyway, a day at the spa. Feeling restless on that island, Honey decides to head to the sanctuary in hopes of finding something to entertain them, avoiding Karma's temple as she flies loops around the floating islands gracefully. Meanwhile, Rose awakens from their fitful sleep, teary-eyed as they wander around their home, stumbling across Lid as they tend to their flowers. Concerned by how little Rose is talking, Lid decides to bring them to the sanctuary as they try to cheer their friend up, learning about the Veela's recent troubling conversation with Allura. Having landed to look around the stores, Honey finds Jelly, mood souring as she attempts to avoid the half-demon's questions about where she's been all this time. Spotting Rose and Lid, Honey drags them into the conversation in hopes of distracting Jelly, deciding they should all go to the spa whilst they hang out. They're greeted by Brooke, who works at the establishment, and introduces herself before leading them down to the hot springs, bringing them all some tea. They all settle around the water, Jelly being particularly careful not to get wet, and start catching up with each other. As they speak, Honey takes a keen interest in Rose's wings, complimenting them to the point of becoming a bit uncomfortable. Rose attempts to ignore Honey and focus on the relaxation of the hot springs, thoughts echoing back to their conversation with Allura, but still becomes unsettled as Honey's questions become more personal. Noticing Rose's discomfort, Lid takes Rose outside for some air, leaving Jelly to reprimand Honey for being so insensitive. Honey blinks, an unseen conflict raging behind her eyes, as Lyd insists that something is wrong with the angel and attempts to get Rose to leave. The Veela reprimands Lyd for being rude about Honey, but thanks her for being concerned. Feeling a little better after chatting with Lyd, the two head back to the hot springs to continue chatting with Jelly and Honey, until Honey questions where Rose got their wings from. Realizing her mistake, Honey leaves quickly, knowing something is wrong and noting how they don't feel like themselves. Something is happening to them, has been happening to them, and they're beginning to realize it, becoming frightened. With Honey now gone, Jelly, Lyd, and Rose discuss how strange the angel was acting, voicing their concerns and worries. Jelly shares that that was the first time they'd seen Honey since she ran away from a burning forest, a fire which only the angel could have started. They tell Rose and Lyd about the investigation they've been doing for Karma, and how Lyd was on their list, though they don't believe they had anything to do with the cornflowers that appeared around the sanctuary months ago. With the mood kind of ruined, Jelly heads back to their shop to write up their notes, whilst Lyd and Rose head home. Feeling bad after not being able to cheer Rose up, Lyd gives them some space and leaves the Veela to rest. Heading to their room, Rose grows sick of the cruel fixation the world seems to have on their wings, holding themselves as they try to push away both Allura and now Honey's words, finding little comfort. My bestie's going through it.
Yo.
Rose,
Everyone's going through it.
the poor little guy. Ah,
Little guys.
it was supposed to be a fun, wholesome day. What happened?
It's never a fun, wholesome day.
It's always a fun, wholesome day on the Mythrill SMP. Let's go to another fun, wholesome day.
Do you know the definition of
has
insanity?
Huh?
Do you know the definition of insanity?
No, but I think I'm living it. Anyway.
It actually is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something to change, and you keep saying that it's nothing bad ever happens on the Mythrill SMP, yet there seems to be nearly 200 pages of lore that says otherwise.
Not all of it is bad, thank you.
Nothing
Only
bad
half
ever
of
happens on the Mythrill SMP.
The
Anyway.
delusion is crazy.
It's the one thing getting me through this, Chris.
How do you think
Let
we
me
get
have
through this?
I'm already insane. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm
Y'all
Of
didn't
course, but
start-
of course, but of course,
Of
but of
course.
Y'all did start out this way? I did.
Now we are going into the lovely Lives Lost, Lives Found, which I think is a Mars, Katie, and Chris.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is when I debut
Yeah.
and be alive.
It's your debut whenever you're
I'm
ready,
reading it.
Elle. And I've got screenshots of this one, so this is going to be fun.
I just want to, say the most iconic one,
Whenever you're ready.
Real.
Okay. Looking for more information about the flower keeping him alive, Mars asks Katie to lead him to one of Artemis's elven ruins. Having heard from Jay that the half-elf had found some books with information on the god who created the rose, Katie enthusiastically agrees to help, but admits she isn't 100% sure of its exact whereabouts. Though they take the opportunity to catch up as they search for the ruin. As they walk, they discuss Artemis's death and Katie's persistent nightmare, leading Katie to angrily rant about Allura's refusal to admit she was the one to cause them. Katie citing that it has to be the Puka's fault. Caught off guard, Mars questions when Katie spoke with Allura, with the Sea Elf revealing that the shapeshifter had been captured by Jay. She explains how the Fae had allowed her to speak with Allura, telling Mars that she was being kept at the top of Karma's temple, which Mars takes note of curiously. Eventually, they arrive at the ruin they were looking for and begin to search through Artemis's belongings for the books Mars needs, with Katie finding a poem that almost seems to be about her, whilst Mars discovers Allura's journal, which he keeps hidden from his friend. Suddenly, the pair hear a strange voice calling from outside, cautiously heading to investigate and coming face to face with an injured stranger. He introduces himself as Chilzer, and noting his pained expression and movement, Mars is quick to offer his aid. Chilzer explains that the afflictions he's facing was caused by a strange plant he ran into, as As the group heads back to Mars's clinic, Katie being incredibly suspicious of the stranger and really interrogating him as they walk. Katie makes it clear that she doesn't trust Chilza at all. Stranger danger after all. However, Mars is sympathetic towards him and continues to help despite her protests. Chilza tells them more about himself, mainly how he's been exploring the valley after being trapped in hopes of finding a way to escape. Though he's had no luck as of yet. He notes that he has a keen interest in the history of the place and how he's been rebuilding is it Citadel?
Yeah, it's a citadel.
Yes.
Yeah. I always struggle with Citadel.
You're good, you're good.
To reside with him, which he believes isn't too far from the clinic, coincidentally. Arriving at the clinic, Mars checks over Chilza as he attempts to figure out what's wrong with him, quickly rolling out beloved vines, warped stems, and skulk. After getting Chilza to describe the plant more, the doctor realizes the plant he encountered was poison ivy, which either seems to have a far more adverse effect on demons, or Chilza was simply overreacting. Regardless, Katie finds the whole situation hilarious. Give me a moment to get my laugh out.
Is that funny?
Yeah.
I have something to add to this at the end, which is going to be
In the
so
best
funny.
way, Chris is like the most like the least person I would expect to overreact. Type
Yeah,
thing.
I'm not overreacting. There's a law of reason, but I
Actually,
just
Yeah.
can't be bothered to speak about it.
Actually, I might have something to add to that at the end, but I'll talk about that later.
Okay, let me.
I realized something funny. You continue, El.
Mars makes some herbal tea and medicine to help the demon feel better, which Chilza greatly appreciates while he and Katie continue bickering. Nothing changes, I guess. Attempting to stop their arguing, Mars asks Chilza to tell them more about himself, hoping knowing more about the stranger will help calm Katie down to no avail. Mars drags Katie outside to talk with him privately, scolding her for how she's been acting this whole time. Katie counters that her behaviour is justified and that they shouldn't be so welcoming to strangers, seeing how dangerous the valley is now and how Warren could be hiding around any corner, noting that they don't know if they can believe anything Chilza is even saying. Eventually, they return inside, finding Chilza curiously watching a fish in amazement.
Sorry.
No, it's the little things in life, guys.
I got a picture. Look, he's looking at Nemo.
Ooh, I love this fish.
I love this fish.
Mars pushes Katie to apologise, which she begrudgingly does, though she quickly takes up arms once more as Chilza asks about Mars's missing arm. Mars says that it's alright, noting that if he wasn't prepared for people to ask, he should be covering it up, directly quoting what Lilith said to him days ago, telling them both that the flesh of his arm was eaten by blood vines. Chilza accuses Katie of having an attitude, to which she takes offence, after which Mars asks her to leave. Before she leaves, Katie threatens Chilza, pulling out her new staff as she promises to hurt him should he ever do anything to Mars. With Katie now gone, Mars asks Chilza about the place he found the poison ivy. Learning that the plant had been surrounding a ruin the demon was investigating, he pulls out a book he found there, written by someone named Timothus Duran. Hate that man's name. Loved
Well,
him.
we loved
Big up
him. His last name is inspired by Duran Duran.
I know.
Yeah, Duran
Big up
Duran
Tim.
Duran
mention.
Duran.
Big up
Duran
Tim.
Squared mention.
Hate Timothus. It's by someone named Timothus Duran, who mentions a shapeshifter, the demon deity Karma, and someone named Swarm.
No.
Charles, it's because of the art.
Yeah.
It's because of the shapeshifter as well.
Yeah.
If you remember the other law thing.
Yeah, no, I thought it was incorrect, but that is correct. Continue.
No. Being familiar with Charlie and Karma, Mars makes an educated guess that the shapeshifter must be Allura. Despite being referred to as Hive within the writing, Mars asks to accompany Chilza when he next goes to investigate the ruins, to which the demon agrees, eager to not have a repeat encounter with poison ivy. The horror.
The horror.
I'm sorry, Chris, I had to. I love
The
you,
horror.
King.
You guys are being demonist right now, and I'm not okay
No,
with it.
I love you,
It's not
Christian.
okay.
No, actually,
Look,
my
No,
best
it's
friend,
fine.
my best
It's
friend's
justified.
karma. My best friend's karma, guys.
The poison ivy hurting is justified.
No, like
it's
I think
justified.
I think I've been told what it is, and I feel I get it. It's the way it's written is
It's because it's like partially Katie and Mars's POV, and it's like,
yeah,
is he
that's the
overreacting or is
thing.
this a demon thing? Like they don't
I think
know, and I
that's the
think it's
thing.
funny to
It's
make fun of him for it.
without the context of knowing how it affects Chris. It's like, bro, it's just poison ivy. It's not
Bro.
that deep. Yeah, but anyway.
So fun. Continue.
After walking Chilza back to his home, quickly returning home afterwards, the knowledge that Allura is now in the sanctuary swirls restlessly around Mars's head, igniting a fire within his soul, thoroughly ruining his day. Meanwhile, Katie had been ranting on her journey home, complaining about Mars's naivety and voicing her dislike of Chilza. Though she does admit seeing a new face in the valley was refreshing. Arriving back at her shop, Katie rereads the poem she found in Artemis's ruin, making her nostalgic for her home and the wonders of the open ocean. She ponders what Artemis would do if she had been with them and met Chilza, conflicted as she reminisces at the at the training ground, thinking of when she had last been with Artemis there. Returned to her shop once more, Katie can't help but wish for a more simple time. Things keep changing for the worse within the valley, and she misses the innocent fun she had when she first washed upon its shore. The fun she had before her soul was stolen from her, the friends and the freedom she had lost since then. Somberly, Katie drops the poem off at the library before heading to her room, laying down restlessly as she contemplates the state of her life.
My sad little guy. So I've got afterlaw screenshots of me on Hell's Lab.
Hold, I've
Really
got an
silly.
advertisement.
Katie does have an attitude problem. I want that to be known and on
No,
the record.
I will say, particularly in that stream, Katie is so sassy too. I'm just like,
She's on site. I catch many
yeah.
strays.
I mentioned, I think I mentioned this before we went live. There was one catch up when I was posting in the Discord that I just had not finished a line. It was that line. It was like Chilzo accuses Katie of having a blank, and I was like, what do I put here? Attitude, because I couldn't remember what I was meant to put there.
Oh my god! No,
I'm a little
that checks
silly.
out to
I'm a
me.
little silly sometimes, but we've got these little extra additional screenshots of us hanging out in
Hold.
the Citadel.
Okay, no. Oh, yeah, I forgot he was there.
Oh, I have
You
one more
should.
thing to add as well.
Oh.
Between every stream that I do for Mythrill, between every stream that I do, the name of the place changes a lot, of my house. It's because I can't ever remember if it's Sanctum or Citadel, and then they're both the same thing.
It can have
So if you hear me say
names.
one or the other, it's just interchangeable, and you just have to ignore it because I just
Yeah.
forget.
If it makes you feel better, Chris, I never noticed.
Yeah.
I just like associate them as one. If I hear Sanctum or Citadel.
I always write it down as Citadel, but it doesn't matter. They're both the same thing. Places can have multiple names.
When I hear the word Citadel, I think of Star Wars. I will be real.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But no,
Hey.
the thing I was gonna mention, with the poison ivy is I think this was before you did the stream. I wrote a post Mythrill fanfic about karma.
Yeah.
Get it?
This is why it's been fresh in my mind.
She got sick because of a like a plant that is just like a normal plant. It was thistlewood. Someone put it in her food and she got like sick, which she shouldn't be able to get sick. So normal plants just make demons sick for some reason, depending on what they are. Which
Everyone else just seems
so
to think it's funny.
No, it's one
still
of those.
Is funny when you think about it.
It's when you don't know. It's like one of those because it's like this is written from like Katie and Mars's perspective. Katie's just like, what is bro doing?
It's like a third POV. I think I was just doing it to be funny when I wrote this, but
it was
funny.
there is reasoning for it, and I'll also say the person who put the thistlewood in Karma's food was Lilith, who is also a
Yeah.
demon and would have known.
Yeah.
It
That's
would make
even
them sick.
worse.
Yeah,
But there's also
that's-
Lilith, who's gonna prank somebody. It's not like a major sickness. I think she got like a cold, like a bad cold.
Yeah, it was like a common. It was like basically a common cold that people we get.
Yeah, but
type thing.
I wanted to write a Karma sick fic, and I couldn't make her sick normally, so I had to drug her with fucking Mythrill.
You had to cause it.
Exactly. So yeah, we're not gonna think about what effects other plants have on demons. You can headcanon that yourself.
Real. And that's your homework, chat.
That's your homework,
Please
chat.
headcanon this.
Find your favorite random IRL plant and come up with a side effect it has on demons. I'll wait.
This stream is not continuing until you do it. I'm kidding. Right. Right. Am I good to go, or do you need
Yeah.
Let me change the
Title?
the title, yeah, because I was talking and haven't changed it. To...
Whilst Jay's doing that, I will say that this stream is called Friendship Blooming, and it involves me and Marsarcy, and we go to a silly little cave. So yeah.
Whenever you're ready, bestie.
Okay. So Chilzo wakes up and we're sitting on his throne within Shadow Self. Let me restart that. Hang on one sec. Let
You're
me
good.
recook. Chilzo sits upon his throne within Shadowfell Sanctum, completely passed out as Mars arrives to check on his condition, having last seen him in a rather nasty rash from some poison ivy. After awakening from his slumber, Chilzo thanks Mars for his help and his medicinal assistance. Remembering the book Chilzo had found when he encountered poison ivy, Mars requests he join the demon as he explores the next ruin, both to prevent him from another near-death experience and to see if there is any information in the next book about his flower, to which Chilzo agrees. As they make their way towards the location, the two discuss the gods, Warren, and the valley as a whole. They reach the cave's entrance relatively quickly, avoiding the toxic plants, as Chilzo calls them, before coming across an old campsite. The two search around the area for anything of interest, discovering an old book similar to the previous one Chilzo found, and a locked safe. Unable to find the key, they turn their attention to the book, learning it was written by Timothus Duran, just like the last one. The book describes the author's relationship with someone called Hive, who had the power to shift their appearance, at the time resembling one of Timothus's friends, Charlie. The book then goes on to describe the other deities within the valley, and an archive Timothus's group was interested in investigating, and an uprising looming against Warren. Chilzo picks up the safe in hopes of finding a key for it later, as Mars deduces that the Charlie mentioned in the book may be the same one he's met before, telling the demon that they may have some idea on how to open the safe, or at the very least the location of the key. With the camp fully looted, the duo leave the cave to return home, discussing Mars's time in the valley as he opens up to the demon. Recognizing that he's not over everything that happened to him, Chilzo tries to comfort Mars before they part ways, telling him that they're glad they both met. Oh, cute. They're so happy and friendship filled.
We love them. We love them.
I have a detail about this stream which is quite funny.
Mhm.
So the safe was
Oh,
never
yeah.
intended to be such a big part
I was just
of the
thinking
lore.
that.
Yeah, the safe was an accidental ad lib that I just picked up on, and suddenly it just became very integral to the plot.
I think there actually was a key.
There was a key, it just
Yeah.
didn't connect properly.
Yeah, Mars hadn't connected the key properly to the safe, so I think he connected it to a different key, which he might have deleted or put somewhere that like I don't know what happened to it, but the key that was there didn't open it, and you just went, "I'll take the safe because what could be in it?" And now we've written lore for the safe, so this is what we love about the server is things that are meaningless can develop meaning, depending on what we need to happen.
That
happens a lot.
for some reason.
It happens a lot. It's called improv, and we love improv in this household.
Yeah.
We do our best.
I
with
like
it.
doing that stream. It was fun.
It was very,
I
very
remember
fun.
that.
I like
remember
doing the
watching
streams
it.
where I get to explore the builds that you guys make
Yeah.
because I get to just be like, I love environmental storytelling is one thing that I'm like really
Yeah.
big on, and these
Yeah.
always have them, so that's why
Ooh.
I'm like such a big fan of them.
The next one you do is going to have a great place for you to look around.
Yippee!
Because I think the chat has seen parts of it before. You've never been there at all, though.
Chat's seen it.
Yeah, because it's I can say it because you mentioned it in your last stream of Charlie. It's Charlie's old house.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought you meant the other thing, and I was
Oh,
like, huh?
no.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
we can't talk about that yet. Taps
We
my
have not
nose.
spoken about that.
We've
There's
not
actually a
spoken.
sniper. There's a sniper red dot on me
There is
right
a
now.
gun trained on all of our
Yeah.
heads if we even mention
Not
it.
me.
So we're gonna. Oh no, it's trained on you as well, El. Your cat is holding it.
No, well, he's not in my room, so.
Oh, he'll get you though.
That's what you think.
That's what you
You
think.
gotta buy. I had to kick him out because he was being such a menace before stream.
Aw, little baby's been neglected.
No, he's
Hot
been taken.
timeout.
It's in timeout.
Yeah, he's in timeout.
Oh no. But anyway, we'll move into another stream, which is going to be quite crushing because it is crushing waves. That's waving. Waves.
Wave.
Which is a lovely Rose and Katie stream, which you may start whenever you're ready, Lizzie.
Having been away from the sanctuary for some time, Rose decides to head over and look around, becoming surprised as they find Katie at her shop. Having not seen each other in a long while, despite having lived together for a time, Rose is quick to ask how the sea elf has been doing, learning that she had recently spoken with Allura and prompting the Vila to share their own recent encounter with the Puka. As they talk about their experiences, Katie admits to feeling less confident in her belief than that the shapeshifter was the cause of her nightmares, though she could still rationalize what else could be causing them. Jesus Christ. Going on a stroll. What?
No, I'm just laughing at my bad wording. You just I make sentences complicated to read.
And I was like, what?
No, I use
No,
big
it's also
words because
my
I think it
brain.
makes me smart and it's hard to read them. I'm so sorry.
My brain goes faster than my mouth sometimes.
You're good. Same, bestie.
Or
Continue.
mouth faster. You know what I mean. Okay, anyway.
Doing good.
Going on a stroll around the sanctuary, they find themselves near Artemis's old tavern, taking a seat within the empty establishment. Katie questions how Rose is handling Artemis's death, to which they state that they're doing the best that they can given everything. Katie shares that she only learned of the half-elf's death after overhearing other people talking about it, having not believed it was true until she saw Artemis's grave. Being a little overwhelmed, Katie falls back on her anger, going on a tangent about Allura and her nightmares more. Rosa reiterates how unlikely it is Allura is causing Katie's nightmares, stating that though they don't know how that kind of magic works, they do trust in Jay's ability to keep the Puka locked away. The Vila voices their concern for Katie, worrying over how she's been sleeping with all the nightmares, to which Katie pushes the talk of self-care back on Rose. She knows both their dreams are haunted after all. As Rose pushes for Katie to talk with someone about the details of her dreams, Katie distracts them by speaking of their recent encounter with Chilzo, telling Rose about how much she dislikes the demon and how she left him alone with Mars. At this realization, they both start to panic a bit, worrying that Mars might have been kidnapped by this strange man. Despite this worry, neither of them bother to check in on their friend at that moment.
That's
Yep.
awful.
They're both just talking about it, and neither of them go to his house to be like, "Are you here,
Yeah.
Mars?"
Oh well.
It's okay. That's the next stream.
They're just hating for being haters' sake. That's
They
all
are.
it
They
is.
are. I mean, Katie
Yeah.
is hating for haters' sake. Rose is probably genuinely concerned because Rose has not met Chilzo.
Don't worry, guys. Mars
Sorry,
is so
it's fine.
strong. Mars can look after himself.
Yeah, he can't die. He's fine. Anyway.
Instead, the two return to Katie's shop, talking about more sweet and sentimental things to lighten the mood. Stopping at her new friendship bracelet shop on the way, Katie quickly makes bracelets for herself and Rose, which the Vila greatly appreciates. Katie shares how glad she is that the two of them became, and still are, friends, despite everything they've been through, a sentiment that Rose shares wholeheartedly. Then, suddenly, the move shifts to Katie as Katie begins to freak out, Rose changing before her eyes to resemble someone else, an all too familiar girl in a purple dress. The sea elf begins to break down, crying out to someone named Rain, as Rose desperately attempts to calm her down to no avail. Not knowing what else to do, Rose guides Katie back to her room above the shop, leaving her to rest as the Vila is concerned for her friend grows tenfold. Or their friend, sorry.
You're good,
Their
you're good,
friend
you're
grows
good.
tenfold.
I will clarify because I think the way I wrote that final paragraph was a little confusing. Katie is hallucinating in that scene. So Rose has not actually changed form or anything. Katie is just full on thinking someone else is there.
Holy shit, Rose shapeshifts.
Holy shit,
Rain.
Rose shapeshifts.
Holy shit.
I have to make that a distinct clarification because of something that has not been streamed yet. but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the strange man who definitely kidnapped Mars.
Yeah.
1,000%.
1000%. I can't believe Chris Chilzo, known
Texted out.
kidnapper. No, we love Chris Chilzo in this household. And we're reading Stranger Danger next. And by we're reading, I mean I'm reading, because it's my turn again. Okay. Whilst exploring the sanctuary, having only been there once before, Chilzo is accosted by a feisty Katie, who accuses him of kidnapping Mars. Chilzo defends that he has no idea where Mars is, having not seen the human recently. However, Katie doesn't believe him and worries that she'll be the demon's next victim. Exasperatedly, Chilzo explains that the purpose of his visit to the sanctuary was actually to make amends with Katie for their poor first introduction, offering her a gift, a plant from the demon plane. At the mention of his homeland, Katie can't help but miss her own home, wishing she could return to the Sea Elf Kingdom, but knowing it's impossible. Chilzo shares that he is also unable to return to his home, even if the barrier surrounding the valley was gone, leaving the two into an awkward silence as they realize they might be more similar than they first thought. Feeling a lot calmer around the demon now, Katie offers to show Chilzo around the sanctuary, feeling a little guilty. Eventually, the two of them end up at the training area, where Katie finds herself opening up to the demon and telling him about Artemis and how they trained here together. Chilzo questions how much... Chris died! No!
It's okay.
It's okay. Chris Chilzo got accused of kidnapping someone and then got cancelled off Discord. I can't believe this.
It's too much to handle.
It's okay. We'll get him out of prison soon. Anyway, continuing reading.
Apologies for my dramatic reaction.
It's okay. It's okay, it's okay. Chilzo questions how much training Katie has had with her staff, to which she admits very little, and he offers to examine the weapon for her to help her learn more about it. Though reluctant at first, Katie agrees to hand it over after Chilzo offers his scythe to her in exchange. Eyeing the weapon, Chilzo easily reads its magic and, with his existing extensive knowledge of weaponry, learns a lot about it. He shares that the weapon is of vampiric origin, something which Katie recalls reading about in Panky's notes, whilst Katie remarks how heavy Chilzo's own weapon is. Leaving the training area and re-exchanging their weapons, Chilzo offers to give Katie a tour of his home, the Shadowfell Citadel, since she was kind enough to show him around Sanctuary.
Why did that happen?
I think Discord might be being weird, is my guess then.
Yep.
It's okay, it's okay. We don't worry about it. Anyway. Once again hesitant to agree, Katie is convinced to take him up on the offer when Chilzo promises to show her a secret. They head through the Nether to the Citadel, where Chilzo shows Katie the safe he and Mars found whilst exploring Atmosphere's campsite, wondering if she might have some water magic that could be used to open it. Katie admits that she can't use her magic like that, or at all really, but suggests Chilzo tries singing to it, which was a very, very funny thing. Oh no! I have just been informed that Chris Chilzo's power is out.
Guys,
Oh.
let's play the national anthem for Chris Chilton and the loss of him.
Guys, we need to do the cat version of the Billie Eilish song. Meow, 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 meow.
Do you want to know?
Meow, meow, meow,
Do you want to know why I know that so
meow,
well? Because Fee does it so well, like scarily, like really close. Like it sounds like Fee. Like if you heard like the version of it, like do you know the version that everyone's heard? And you hear Fee, if you listen at the same time, it's the exact same. I'm not joking.
You talking about that has made me lose my space in the catch-up. That's not your fault though. I was already lost because I was messaging Chris
Vampiric
Chilzo.
origin. I found it.
I thought I
Ran
already
there
read that
roughly.
bit. Oh no, I did read that bit.
It's like the next paragraph below that.
I started the next paragraph. I'm not sure where I got to in that paragraph. I did the Nether, the Citadel, exploring his campsite. Oh no, I finished that paragraph. Okay, we're on the last paragraph. Okay. Having spent the whole day together practically, Chilzo and Katie find that they actually like each other quite a bit, having a surprising amount of things in common and enjoying each other's company. They decide to try and become better friends and hang out more, including Mars once they figure out where he is, since Katie's suspicion that Chilzo kidnapped him hasn't been fully cleared yet, before the Sea Elf leaves to return to her home. So, that is Stranger Danger. which
Okay.
got Chris Chilzer kidnapped by his internet going out.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We just have to do a little bit of shuffling on everything that we are doing now. So I guess
Because I'm,
I
I
can.
I can do mine and his this
Are you
time.
sure?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can take his, but if you
It's not
want
too
to,
long.
okay,
Like that, they're not too long. Like the one that I read previously was longer, I'd say.
yeah, you do his next one, and then either you or I will do the one after that if Chris is not back. We do not know if his power will miraculously come back or not by the time we're through with this, so we are just gonna push through and keep going. But our next, following the dramatic saga of has Mars been kidnapped, we're now going on to the stream You're Okay, which will be read by El Pond Fairy whenever you're ready, bestie.
Sat upon Mars's porch, Katie waits for her friend to return home, trying to reassure herself that he's alright and wasn't kidnapped by Chilzer like she feared. The sea elf begins to contemplate where Mars could be, starting to spiral as she comes up with the worst scenarios in her head, only making her panic more. All of a sudden, Katie spots Mars in the distance and runs over to him. Startled by his nonchalantness and scolding him for disappearing on her, Mars apologizes to her, ensuring Katie that Chilzer is a nice person and that he wasn't kidnapped, to which she begrudgingly agrees. Explaining that he was away looking for a flower Artemis had given him, Mars asks Katie if she'd like to come with him to find a place to put it. The two of them head into one of the elven ruins Artemis had shown her in the past. Katie excitedly rambles about her tree friend, Humphrey. Much to Mars's
Big up
confusion,
Humphrey.
love Humphrey,
We
what a
love
legend.
Humphrey.
As they make their way over, getting a little lost along the way. Once at the ruin, Katie introduces Mars to Humphrey, the human being rather astounded by the Ent's existence, saying some nice words to the tree at his friend's insistence. Finding Sunny's spot before a statue, Mars decides to place a sunflower before it, Katie joining him to sit after planting it. In the peaceful tranquility of the ruins, the two have a heart-to-heart over Artemis's passing. The two voicing their regrets to each other and sharing reassurances. Katie worries over people forgetting about Artemis, noting that some people, namely Chilzer, had no idea who she was, leading Mars to suggest she write a song about their lost friend to keep her memory alive. With music in mind and want to be a bit more light-hearted, Katie badgers Mars to sing with her. The two sharing a cute little duet only to fall over laughing by the end of it. They continue to reminisce as they notice the increasing amount of alliums around the ruins. The herbalists noting their sudden appearance goes against the laws of nature. They continue to explore around the area, speaking about Chilzer's trustworthiness. Along the recent happenings within the sanctuary, Mars brings up Jay's recent bed rests and their own fears over the situation they're in. Regardless of what the future may hold, the two agree that they're just happy to be together again. Katie commemorating their friendship by giving Mars a bracelet. They return to Mars's home soon after, settling inside to enjoy some tea, which Katie ends up hating. As they realise the late hour, Mars invites Katie to stay over. The two are getting cozy together on the bed as he reads them a story. The sea of slowly falling asleep within Mars's arms.
Aw, how wholesome.
That's very
Oh,
wholesome.
We love them.
I love that. I remember watching that stream.
I love Letter Duo.
I think everyone does. Letter Duo is
Everybody
so
does.
pleased.
Everyone loves Mars and Katie. Hearts in chat if you love Mars and Katie, because I love them. And they're wonderful. They're so wonderful. There's a little heart. There's a little heart. Yeah, that we're gonna try power through this because we've already been here for just over an hour and we still have a lot of streams to go through and we're now down a person. So we're
almost halfway through.
We're almost halfway through, so we're doing good, gamers. We're doing good. We're going to go straight into What is Broken, which is a stream featuring me and Rose and several other people. So whenever you are
Many
ready,
people.
Elle, if you are okay to read this one.
Yep.
Whenever you're ready.
Desperate to relieve herself of her curses, Puff heads to Jay for some assistance. Jay says that she can remove the curses from Puff, but as she's not the one to place them in the first place, it won't be very easy. Noting that it would basically send her into a coma for a few weeks, as her body adjusts to their removal. Still not having a proper home and not feeling safe within the sanctuary with Karma's looming presence. Jay suggests a place Puff can stay while she heals and asks if there's anyone who could watch over her during that time, with Puff selecting Rose as revealed as one of the few friends she considered, one of the few people she considers a friend within the valley. After finding Rose and conscripting their help, the three head to one of the elven ruins Artemis had discovered, with Jay citing it had been one of the safest places outside the sanctuary, considering how few people know of its location. One such person who knows of it, however, is Isaac, who the trio discover outside of the building, training, sending Puff and Rose within the building to look around and ensure the presence of a protection crystal. Jay and Isaac have a tense standoff, having not spoken since Artemis's death. Feeling uncomfortable within the sanctuary after what he'd done, Isaac had chosen to hide within the elven ruin, knowing no one would come looking for him. No one had cared to look for him before, after all. The warlock takes this opportunity to vent his frustration and speak of his time trapped under Warren's influence, frustrated over how no one tried to help him and distraught over what he was forced to do. Saddened, Jay apologized for not being there for him, admitting that after facing Warren at the tower, they all believed him to be dead. Then believing after that it would be too dangerous to approach him with Warren invested in his head. With a new understanding of each other and a much clearer conscience, Jay tells Isaac of why she's at the ruin with Puff and Rose. With Isaac offering to watch after Puff as their curses heal, seeing he's staying there anyway. With that, Jay properly introduced the warlock to Puff and reintroduced him to Rose, as they had only briefly met beforehand before taking Puff to a bedroom upstairs to remove their curses, Puff falling into a peaceful sleep as she slowly becomes human once more.
Woo!
Woo.
Something I realized. One I meant to mention in the last thing that you read. Also, in the flower symbolism, just alliums everywhere. I wonder what that's hinting towards.
Yeah.
Wonder why they're spreading. Not like, anything. Anyway, Puff was actually meant to be at the party stream, but had to duck out because of I believe either IRL stuff or a different event they double booked on. But technically they're just still there. Rose isn't taking care of them anymore. Rose has just gone home, so
Bye.
Yeah.
Puff is just probably awake, probably just hanging out there because they were homeless before. So I don't know. I don't know where Puff is. I haven't spoken to Puff in a while, so yeah, just clean that up for a second. In case anyone was wondering, but our next stream has someone who I love very much in it because it is Lizzie.
Hey.
Is Lizzie in Potion of the Past.
There's so much that happened in this.
Yes,
There's
this
so
is
much
our
conversation.
stream actually. It has two
It
people, only one of whom I love.
Hey!
And I'm talking about you.
No, I know, but still, hey! You love yourself.
Do I have to? Mom, do I have to?
Yes.
Before you start this one, I will say this was a very funny stream in particular because you had to leave for about 20 minutes.
I felt so bad.
We were about 15 minutes into the stream. No, it's totally fine. I don't mind. And it was funny at the time. But you had to leave for about 20 minutes when we were 15 minutes into the stream to help some people in your house leave. So I was stalling for both of our chats, and I got chat to tell me who the characters in the story of Icarus were, so I could use it to quote in the stream. So we had
what happened?
Yeah, I was like, guys, who's Icarus's father? I want to make a metaphor, and I need his dad's name. So chat got to participate in the lore and help me, which is very cute. And I have not many screenshots, but I have a few screenshots of me just sitting with you behind me, being like, "Hey." So
Yeah, I blame my family.
yeah, we blame the family, but it's perfectly fine. Whenever you're ready, you can read.
Alright. Feeling incredibly disheartened after Shroom's recent revelations, Lizzie begins practicing archery in the Sanctuary's training ground, placing Shroom's hat upon a dummy as Shroom continuously shoots it. Over and over and over again. Lizzie's self-deprecation is soon interrupted by the appearance of Jay, who's immediately concerned for the Hun-Ho, pulling Shroom over to the table as Shroom rambles incoherently. She sits Lizzie down, hands Shroom some tea, and gives Shroom a moment to catch their breath. Jay asks what has Lizzie so distraught I was about to say distraught again, with distressed. With the Hun-Ho revealing that Shroom's made some progress in Shroom's search for information, though Shroom still have been unable to contact the gods. Lizzie shares that after reading some old journals Shroom had found, Shroom had learned of why Shroom was in the overworld in the first place. Recounting Shroom's memories, Lizzie tells Jay that the gods themselves had sent Shroom there to warn the others still in Infinia not to return to the godly plane, as if they did, they would become trapped in the realm just like the rest of them. The Fae attempts to comfort Lizzie as Shroom recounts Shroom's failure, how Shroom memory became spotty the moment Shroom arrived in the overworld, leading Shroom to fail in Shroom's mission. Lizzie also recounts, slightly tearily at this point, some of the information Shroom recalled of the original god of creation, Warren's predecessor, Lauren. The Hun-Ho states that she was a loving god with a strange obsession with humans and the overly frequently and the overly I didn't even process that. Sorry.
No,
And
I don't even know where you're reading from, so that might be my bad. Anyway, sorry.
it's in the doc, but it's fine.
Ah,
I'm assuming like the overworld people, but anyway.
yeah, it's probably supposed to be overworld.
Yeah. Frequently visiting Infinia far more often than the other gods, a stark contrast to the Warren's uncaring cruelty. Lizzie also reluctantly tells Jay what else Shroom remembers from Shroom's past, telling them about the potions Shroom invented thousands of years ago, startling Jay as Lizzie reveals Shroom and relieves Shroom and makes the first ever love potion. Jay questions how Lizzie acquired the Vila wings to make the concoction, confusing the Hun-Ho as it's not an ingredient Shroom had listed for the potion. Revealing that the prototype potion was stolen from Lizzie in the night all those years ago, Jay reasons that whoever stole it must have added in the fairy wings, knowing them to be the most important ingredient after listening to Alora's musings and interest in Rose. As they discuss the potion, Jay shares that the Puka had created one before, though she had used her own Fey wings instead of Avila's, which greatly lessened its permanence. Lizzie worriedly questions who the potion was used on, with Jay relieving that it was used on her by Panky, one of Alora's most loyal followers. Despite the Fae's reassurance that it wasn't Lizzie's fault in any way, Shroom didn't even technically make the potion in the first place. The Hun-Ho still apologizes profusely for what Jay had to go through. Though she doesn't blame Lizzie in any way, Jay does suggest Shroom inform Rose about this revelation, seeing as they're Vila and that their wings had been taken before, likely for the purpose of making the potion, which Lizzie agrees to do, as well as keeping the information between the three of them. Being the scholar that she is, Jay concluded that the love potion might have something to do with no other Hun-Hos being in Infinia, taking note of Lizzie's near hysterical distress and abundance of apologies. The Hun-Ho confirms her suspicions, stating that Shroom's kind were sent back to the godly realm to protect their knowledge from being abused anymore, punishing them all for Lizzie's mistake. Jay compares it to the story of Icarus, how he was imprisoned within a tower with his father, Daedalus? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, but Daedalus, but yes.
Daedalus, who had built the Minotaur's maze by a king to prevent him from revealing the maze's secrets, and adamantly reiterates that what happened wasn't Lizzie's fault. Moving on to other things, Lizzie informs Jay about Shroom's search for Artemis's ghost, that Hun-Ho's still not understanding or accepting that the half-elf is gone. Lizzie shares that Shroom hasn't been able to find her yet, and even attempted to summon their spirit with Jamie's help, which unfortunately didn't work. Lizzie asks what Jay's been up to, other than her mandatory bed rest at Mars's request, to which the Fae shares that most of her time has been taking up informing people of Artemis's passing, reading, and attempting to sleep. Overall, Jay has been overwhelmed by guilt, blaming herself for the state of the valley and drawing Warren's wrath in the first place. Lizzie uses Jay's own words against her, affirming that nothing has happened was her fault, just like she said to Lizzie in regards to the love potion. Jay laughs, noticing her own hypocrisy, and thanks Lizzie for Shroom's attempt at comforting them. After a little more small talk, the two part ways for the day, Spirit not quite eased, but thankful to have a friend who understands how they feel, even if just a little bit.
Yippee! I love doing streams with Lizzie. Did you know that, Lizzie? Did you know that I
know.
love you?
I like doing streams with you.
Yay! I was gonna say, I think with Chris not being here, I will do his next one, and then if you want to do the one after that, Elle, and then Lizzie can do the
Yeah.
final one.
Yeah.
That will probably work out the easiest for all of
Yeah,
us.
I will say the next Chris one's a little... Oh, that's a long one.
Yeah, so I'll my next one is a short one, so I'll do the next Chris one.
Yeah.
Plus I was in that stream, I believe. So hee.
Technically, yes, you were.
Technically, yes, I was. And I'll have notes to give on before we read that one because it's interesting thing that happened with that stream. Anyway, our next one, which I am reading, and I'm getting distracted by the music because it's a piano version of an Alec Benjamin song, and I am very happy. I love it. And the Saints in the comma. And it's a comma song. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But our next next stream is, oh my god, Chris Chilzo!
Oh my god.
Is he alive?
Tried to kill me.
He tried to. We were just organizing who would take your place in your readings, but you're back. Yippee!
Which reading do I need?
Don't worry. You missed one, but we're not on to your next one yet. So you can just sit pretty and wait.
Which one is it? I do that all the time, but which one is it? I forget.
Your next one, or the one that you missed?
Yeah. No, the next one.
Your next one is Pluck the Fawn from your side.
Okay, cool.
And we are on Vila's Trust and Love Potion Dust, which I will be reading right now. So, having received a letter from their dear friend, Lizzie, Rose decides to fly over and pay Shroom a visit, having not seen the Hun-Ho in a long while. When the Vila arrives, Lizzie greets them and the two spend some time catching up with each other, Shroom wanting to ease into things before bringing up the main reason Lizzie wanted to see them. They spend some time walking around the area, planting flowers and chatting back and forth as they go. Bring up their past interactions with Honey at the spa, the angel having a strange interest in Rose's wings, Lizzie decides to tell the Vila what Shroom recently learned. The two head inside Lizzie's house to speak, the Hun-Ho worried over eavesdroppers and the sensitivity of the information Shroom's about to share, recounting their memories of the potion that had been stolen from Lizzie in the past. A potion that had been used to create the first ever love potions, the primary ingredient of which being Vila wings. Rose's mind goes blank at the news, struggling to process the information as they begin to grow nervous, terrified over the thought of losing their wings again. The Hun-Ho reveals that the potion led to Shrooms and all of their kind getting sealed within the Aether, revealing to Rose that the gods themselves are now trapped there as well. Despite the troubling information, Rose is happy for Lizzie and Shroom's recovered memories. Their past conversation with Allura fresh in Rose's mind still, the Vila feels worried over their safety. Even still, they tell Lizzie not to worry about them, eventually taking their leave, thanking their friend for the talk and information before flying back home once more. Let's talk about how Rose is going through it right now.
Yeah, don't worry, guys.
Don't worry, guys. It's not getting better.
It gets worse.
It gets worse.
No,
this is what happens
no,
when
guys,
I write someone's plotline.
No, it gets better eventually, maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe.
Definitely. We love Rose.
Rose-
Nothing bad
Rose-
ever happens on the Mythrill SMP, and you know what else?
Oh, so the
Nothing
delusion is
lasts
still
forever.
delusioning. Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Speaking of nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, with Jamie can fly.
Oh my god, Jamie can fly.
And
Nothing
I'm
bad
sure
ever
nothing
happens
bad
in
will happen in this one either.
No.
You stole my bit. No.
I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry. I come back and I start stealing people's
I'm
thunder.
too predictable. It's not your fault. It's okay.
It's not even the worst one.
whenever you're ready, Elle.
Okay. Working it with a stretch, Jamie discovered that their mysterious necklace is glowing even brighter, making them rather static. They seem to get in somewhere with their research. Their sickness has practically disappeared, and they are no longer struggling to maintain their illusions. Things have been going great for the witch, they realise, which brings a happy smile to their face. Being in such a cheerful mood, Jamie decides to pay a visit to Brooke, getting no answer when they knock on the door. Beginning to worry, Jamie lets himself into Brooke's house, slowly making her way upstairs to their friend's room. Upon entering, Jamie finds Brooke.
Deliriously, sorry. It says deliciously.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you can mumble like that, like if you want to mumble deliciously, you can do.
We blame Google Translate, not Google Translate. We blame the autocorrect for that one. Thanks, Google.
Jamie finds Brooke deliriously mumbling about how she's going to be late for work, despite her working hours having long since passed. Jamie Jamie I merged the words together. Jamie instantly recognises that Brooke is sick, deciding to bring the human to Mars for a checkup, despite how late it is. After carefully walking Brooke up, Jamie guides her over to the clinic.
It's supposed to be waking up, not walking. Google Translate.
No, it is waking. It's just the way it's.
Oh,
she's already awake. That's my thing. She's awake.
No, she's past. No, she's like mumbling whilst not being fully conscious, I guess. I don't know. Let's continue.
After carefully waking Brooke up, Jamie guides her over to the clinic, finding the door already open and Jay inside. The face states that she had received a letter from the doctor and came over to see him, only to be unable to find him anywhere. Disheartened over Mars not being there, Jamie worries what to do, introducing Jay to Brooke and explaining how she's gotten very sick recently. Despite not being a medic herself, Jay does know a few things and offers to try and help, which both Jamie and Brooke agree to. Jamie and Brooke describe the symptoms the human has been having, and Jay throws around a few theories and gives them some advice on how they could make Brooke feel better. Jamie admitting that something feels rather sinister about her friend's sickness. Jay recommends giving Brooke time to heal and encourages her to get plenty of rest, telling them to inform her if should anything worse happen. Taking note of the Fae's advice, Jamie thanks them, before quickly rushing Brooke home to bed once more, leaving Jay to puzzle over where Mars could be and why he sent her that letter. After ensuring Brooke is comfortable in her room, Jamie gives her friend a sweet goodbye and promises to come check on her soon, wanting to let her rest as well as hide their own growing stress and worry from her. Making their way back home, Jamie is wrecked with worry over Brooke, desperately hoping that she gets better. She can't lose another friend, she thinks somberly. Not ever. Ever again.
Nothing bad is gonna happen, obviously.
I think Brooke is gonna magically get better.
I think Brooke is gonna magically get better, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She lives, guys.
She lives.
She does.
She definitely lives.
Spoiler alert, guys.
We would never lie to you guys. Spoiler alert, guys. Brooke is fine. Brooke is fine. We would never lie to you. We would never lie to you in front of your pastor. So the me featuring in this stream directly connects to the next stream, where you get to see Mars have Toshi give me that letter to trick me away from my house. Also hello to PNGtuber in the chat. I know, right?
Goba in chat, no way.
Hell yeah. I will also say, Plug the 400 from Your Side was a stream that me and Mars did where the server got attacked midway through, and also I think Mars had just woken up from a nap, so we ended up redoing the stream completely in video format, which we do not have a link to, but you can find in the Mythrill SMP Discord, probably in the videos chat, not that far up, so we recommend going and watch it. So the stream, the second edition of the video came a lot after when the stream initially did, but it is still ordered like this in the timeline because this had to happen before the Scarlet Soiree for reasons. This is one of the ones where it's like we're getting into the me having to reorder stuff intentionally for things.
Timelines are really fun.
Timelines deadlines are fun, especially when you have technical difficulties and months are taken in between lore happening and you forget when things
Because of
happen.
life.
And yeah, life is difficult, life is hard, but pluck the throne from your side will be read by Chris Gelzo whenever you're ready.
So true. In the dead of night, Mars sneaks into Jay's home, having Toshi deliver the Fae a letter to send her away. Entering the temple, Mars frantically searches for the crystal Katie said had brought her to Allura's cell. Finding nothing, he's quickly interrupted by the appearance of Karma, startling him as he attempts to come up with an excuse, only for the demon princess to state she knows what he's doing. Seeing right through his lies, Karma tells Mars that he's too easy to read, stopping him from leaving as she tells him that she'll let him see Allura. If he wants to see her, however, Mars needs to be more confident in himself. Should he enter that cell as he is, shaking hands and wobbling legs, Allura will take advantage, just as she has in the past. Now, I want to add a tidbit here. It's completely and utterly understandable that in the presence of a goth baddie, Marsarcy's legs began to wobble
Yes.
and his hands were shaking. And,
Newsweek's
you know,
Vomit on my sweater.
this is
Mum.
completely understandable, and honestly, more power to him
Valid.
for even going through with it. Yeah.
Mars is
Anyway.
having a time in this stream. He first gets Karma, the goth baddie, and then gets Allura, the goth baddie. He's
It should have
going
been
through it.
me!
He's going
It
through
should have
it.
been me!
Should have been me. You. I mean, you get something.
Yeah,
You get
real.
something. Anyway,
Real.
continue.
Hang on, right, where was I at? There. Karma encourages Mars to take a breath and seal his resolve. And steal his resolve. Oh my gosh, I read that like it's stolen. Steal his resolve to not Allura control him anymore. And with his mind assured, Karma teleports Mars into Allura's cell. Shocked by his presence, Allura voices her surprise at seeing Mars, noting that she didn't expect Jay to let anyone else visit her. Mars admits she didn't, making the Puka laugh, curiously asking what he wants from her.
Breath
Allura
man,
notes,
gee.
no, no breath.
You're
Rose
reading so
builder.
quickly.
No.
You don't have to go that fast. Take a breath. You're good. I feel like you're gonna
I know.
choke on your words.
No, I'm making up for lost time.
It's okay. It's okay. We're only almost 2 hours in. It's fine. We're almost done.
It's so fine. Allura notes her delight that Mars acquired the Eternal Rose, flattering him at his usefulness as she tries to convince him he was one of her favourite vessels. She grows sarcastic as Mars asks how she's doing, noting that she can't be doing well being in a cell, but notes that at least she's not with Warren anymore. Allura belittles the hopeful inhabitants of the sanctuary, offhandedly mentioning how the god already has what he wants. How the god already has what he needs to destroy them, but tells Mars not to worry his pretty little head about it. Asking again why he's there, Mars gives Allura her journal, which he had found whilst exploring one of the ruins with Katie. Telling her he thinks he understands more now, he brings out the book he found with Chilzo, the one by Timothus, and questions if she knows anything about the godly archive mentioned in its pages. The Puka freely informing him that she hasn't seen it in over 10,000 years, believing it to have left the valley along with Warren after its initial destruction. Mars is deeply disheartened, having hoped to get some more answers on his flower from the archive, to which Allura notes that Warren never liked the rose. She offers Mars a deal, telling him she'll take him to where the past holder of the flower lived, saying that he may be able to learn more about it from there. Mars states he isn't sure if he believes her. Allura laying on compliments and assurances to try and persuade him to agree, saying that it's the least he could do after all the trouble he caused her. As Allura rants and raves, Mars questions where the past owner of the flower used to live, being vaguely told of some snowy mountains and a dead tree somewhere in the southeast. Allura promising that they'd be there and back in no time at all. Still unsure, Allura grows more desperate in her attempts to convince him, telling Mars he doesn't have much time to lose anymore, seeing as Warren is going to destroy the valley eventually. No one else can give him the answers he wants but her, unless he'd like to ask the god himself. What an interesting conversation that would be, she muses, wondering if he's aware of what Warren did to the last true mortal he couldn't kill. Mars admits he doesn't, watching as Allura smiles cruelly, telling him to ask Jay or Charlie the next time he sees them. She doubts the stupid Phoenix will remember, though, not after everything Warren did to them. Mars questions why Allura wants to leave, knowing that Warren is out there and would likely kill her, but the Puka half-heartedly suggests he might not. She could hide, slip away whilst he deals with them in the sanctuary. After everything, Allura just wants to be left alone. With this in mind, she pushes for Mars's answer once more, despite to be
Supposed to be
hang
desperate. Sorry.
on. Desperate to be freed, only for him to refuse her. Allura's kind facade crumbles slowly, rage filling her expression as she demands why. After she offered him everything he wanted, why would he refuse her? Mars answers that she's already told him everything he needs to know, making the puka finally snap as she realizes she's been too where am I at? Hang on. Making the puka finally snap as she realizes she's revealed too much to him. She questions if this is it. If Mars really plans to just leave her here to rot, only to receive an enthusiastic yes from him. She would do the same for him after all. Mars says he knows there's no good in Allura. He tries so hard to find any shred of light in her, but there was none. He believed her kindness once, and was proven wrong in the most painful way. He won't fall for her lies again. He won't let her manipulate him or anyone else. There's no world where she would take a second chance, where she would genuinely try to be good, so there is no word where he would give her one. Looking at him coldly, Allura states that people like her don't get second chances. When you live as long as she has, when you've seen as much as she's seen, you realize that it's not just people who are cruel, but the world itself. And he's going to have to live in that world forever. Taking a step closer, a dangerous glint enters Allura's eye. She tells him to get out before she shows him how cruel the world can be. Mars makes Allura a promise that no matter how cruel the world is to him, he never will be. The Puka laughs, something high and disbelieving and bitter, and says that they'll see just how long that lasts. He admits that she's taught him a lot, calling her by her true name for the first time that whole conversation, and says that part of him wants to thank her, but unfortunately, that's the same part she fed to the vines. Allura questions if he really did die up on the tower, pointing out just how different he is from the scared, sick kid she met when she first came to the valley. Taking one final step closer, Allura tells him to have fun watching the world burn, knowing he'll be alive to see it. And with that, Mars smashes the crystal Karma gave to him on the ground, teleporting outside of the temple and safely away from Allura's clutches. Mars repeats the directions he was given before making his way out of the sanctuary, a weight off of his shoulders, and the next mission set on course. I love that
Yippee!
woman!
I love that video. I love playing Allura.
It's
It
so
was so
good.
very fun to let her be miserable because she was
It,
that was her last and only hope of getting out in her mind. Um and she went and
yeah,
fucked it because she told him where to go basically. Which is
She
very
got
very fun.
outsmarted.
She did. She taught
The
Mars how to
schemer.
manipulate people, and then he
Yeah.
manipulated her, and she's like, "Wait a minute, that's not how that
That's
was
not how this
supposed to
plays.
Oh
happen."
my gosh, no. Goth Baddie turned Marzarki into a male manipulator. No!
No, he's gonna mansplain
No!
manipulate us. No.
no.
This is
Oh,
awful.
oh, we cry, we cry.
He's unlocked 110% of his true potential now. God damn it.
I have this very cute off-stream screenshot of me and Mars just sat on the throne together, which I wanted to show because it's my guy. I love this guy. He's so sweet when he's not being a manipulator.
When he's not being a male
When he's not
manipulator.
being a male manipulator. This is why we don't have men on the SMP.
Um,
We have two.
might.
No, that's just a coincidence. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay. Yeah.
It's just a coincidence that there are only two men on the server. Actually, I think the majority of people on the server are like gender non-conforming, which is very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something after that stream, and it completely left my brain. Oh yeah, no, the thing I was gonna say. Allura's journal is brought up, and I do not believe what is in it has been described in a catch-up because it was first found by Artemis. I believe at the start of Arc 3, because it was in the casino
Yeah.
when we went to investigate to see if Allura was there. And I'm not sure if I ever wrote what was in it, so I'll give like a very brief synopsis. It was Allura's backstory. Basically, she was originally an advisor to character J's father, actually, in the Fey Night Court. But being a Puka and not a full true Fey, since Pukas are kind of they are changelings who failed their mission, but through force of will and the magic of the moon, basically, survived. she was able to remain, and she got very high up in status despite what she was. And then abandoned it because she said, you're trying to make an alliance with Daycourt, and I don't think that's gonna work out well, so I'm leaving. And then she went to hang out with humans to deceive them and be a trickster and all that stuff. And then she got found out that she wasn't human herself, and she literally got stabbed in the back, started bleeding out in an alleyway, which is when Warren found her. And she couldn't handle being second best when Karma joined the equation. And so she made the rebellion against Warren to try to become a god herself. And that became her goal. She's just kind of a crazed, power-hungry person who is never content with what she gets.
And she should never be content.
She will only be content when she herself has become a god. And obviously, she failed in that. So, yeah, that is our little synopsis on Allura. Very fun character for me to write, just making her the worst person imaginable.
I love that she's the worst.
Exactly. I love a villain who, like, Allura is a villain who, if you, like, read her journal, you can understand why she is like she is. You can sympathize with her to an extent, even though she's a horrible person. Warren, you can't, because he is just a murderer.
Yeah.
He is just a guy with too much power.
He's just actually the worst.
Yeah, he has he has not been, like, Allura has been through trauma to influence her actions. Warren has not. Warren just came about and decided to be the worst person imaginable.
He was just like, it's on site now, and
yeah.
I'm gonna be everyone's problem.
Exactly. And then Karma is the villain who is actually secretly a good guy, but just kind of likes to be a trickster. Anyway,
Let's continue.
We go from
Let's keep
that.
rolling.
Yeah, we got to keep rolling. We go from that to, and I apologize, Lizzie. The Scarlet Soiree, and I apologize because this is long and you have to read it.
It's so intricate.
Yeah, okay. This is what happens. I had to copy and paste the theme above my got an I in the sentence. If you get tired, you can pass it off to another person because this is a very long. This is the unfortunate thing. It could be longer, I will say. It could definitely be longer, but this is the unfortunate thing
most definitely be longer.
Of writing up things of events. It mainly tackles Lilith's perspective, since those are the notes I was given, and everything else was recollections from my own stream. So basically, if you want to know every single thing that happened, watch other people's perspectives. I don't know how many of them are still around. I have a video up on my VODs channel, I believe, but without further ado, because otherwise we're gonna really lose a plot here, you can begin whenever you're ready, Lizzie.
After receiving invitations from Honey to an event named Scarlet Soiree, a party hosted with the express hope of uplifting people and bringing some light to the dark times they currently live in, many people arrive at the docks just beyond the sanctuary to attend. Together they explore the area, participate in games, gorge themselves on delicious food, and mingle amongst each other, joyous as they enjoy the night and attempt to forget the looming threat of Warren, even as his crystals linger. No, I know it's linger, but my mouth decided to say lingle.
Oh, I thought I wrote it wrong.
No, that was just my mouth.
Okay, we're good. I'm just judging myself writing joyous as they enjoy. I hate myself.
Yeah,
anyway,
that trips me up a bit.
I don't these are all like first drafts I do not go back and edit because I am lazy. So we put up with whatever bad shit. I can do better than this. Anyway, continue, sorry.
No, you're fine. Even as his crystals linger in the distance. Still suffering from her illness, Lilith scolds her watchers?
Yes, chat.
Over taking so long to awaken before meeting up with Sheba and heading to the event. As they mingle with other partygoers, reminding everyone to write their names within Ledger by the stages they do, Sheba and Lilith are eventually separated. Once the half-demon finds Sheba again, she eavesdrops as he converses with Jay before spotting Fizek in the distance. Quickly being filled with icy rage, Lilith quickly leaves before she does anything she regrets, heading down to the docks to calm herself. She battles with if she's going through with her plan, the whole reason she threw the party and conscripted Sheba, Honey, and Fizek's help in the first place, and wonders what Loki and Artemis would think of it. Saddened by the thought of her dead friend, Lilith assures her that this is the only way to avenge her. Lilith cannot allow Artemis' death to remain a mystery any longer. Meeting back up with Sheba, the two enjoy the party more and interact with the others attending. Jamie attempts to sell fortunes whilst hanging out with Brooke and introducing her to others, worrying over their friend's health the whole time. Lizzie joins Rose and Afia as they attempt to find all the ducks hidden around the venue. Swarm and Chozo met for the first time, with the demon planning to visit the Phoenix's museum later to learn more of the valley's past and the person who wrote the book he recently found. Lid speaks with Jay about the abilities she's discovered she has, being directed to find a book in the Fee's office.
Face.
In the Fae's office after the event to gain some more answers. Bean enjoys the petting zoo before heading home early, overwhelmed with the amount of people at the event, and Jelly notices Honey's absence and heads to the Angel's home to investigate, discovering several strange notes scattered around and no sign of their friend. As the moon rises higher into the sky, Lilith asks Sheba to gather everyone onto the stage. After taking a moment to gather her thoughts, Lilith heads up the stairs to address the crowd, giving a speech and claiming the event was planned to help bring them all together and grow as a community. With Honey still missing, Lilith calls the other person who helped set up the event to the stage to say some words. Fizek. The warlock ascends the stage and begins to speak uncertainty, knowing for many he is an unfamiliar face. As he finishes his speech, Fizek turns around only to see Lilith grinning, all teeth in spite, before she pulls a lever at the back of the stage. The warlock falls as the floor disappears below him, finding himself in a cell below the stage as the crowd roars with indignation, concern, and panic filling the air. Returning to the front of the stage, Lilith reveals Fizek's involvement in Artemis's death, shocking everyone as she berates him for killing her dearest friend and hiding from the consequences. Jay attempts to explain the complexity of the situation, of how Warren used his body to murder Artemis, but Lilith counters by asking if it was Fizek who stabbed the half-elf through the chest or not. Unable to lie, Jay answers yes, knowing that despite it not being what Fizek wanted to do, it was still his hands that killed her friend. The crowd is shocked and enraged, Sheba especially, and with her point made, Lilith releases Fizek, who apologizes before running away with Izzy close behind him. With her mission successful, Lilith leaves to find Sheba, who had walked off after the reveal to temper his anger. Still starting from everything? Startled?
Yes, probably. Yes.
Okay. Still startled from everything, Afia wonders if Warren could take over Fizek again, to which Jay steps in to assure her he couldn't. The Fae tries to alleviate everyone's worries, speaking of the protection crystals and how they prevent anything linked to Warren from entering, and apologizing for not being fully transparent when explaining Artemis's fate. Jamie's hysterical interruption puts an end to the conversation, with everyone heading home, their night of joy tarnished into a bitter memory. After a short search, Lilith finds Sheba, finally giving him the will Artemis wrote to him, that she had stolen from Jay's office. Together, they return to Lilith's home, and she offers him a place to stay for the night, with Sheba agreeing, if only to ensure the half-demon isn't murdered in her sleep for the stunt she just pulled. With a final goodnight, Lilith heads to her room, only to change out of her dress before sneaking away to the sanctuary. With the rest of the world still at the party or struggling with the information she revealed, she makes her way to the top of Karma's temple. Entering the cell, Lilith meets with Allura for the first time in months, offering her muse a promise of salvation. The Puka is doubtful in both Lilith's sincerity and ability to help her, only agreeing with the notion that she has very little to lose at this point, having been trapped for months with no hope of escape. With a smile, Lilith scatters her watchers around the cell, eyes flickering upon the walls and enchanted glass separating her from the shapeshifter below. With her last goal of the night completed, Lilith returns home once more to sleep, glass slowly cracking slowly behind her.
Yippee!
You copped her!
I'm so proud of you. That was
You
a lot of
cooked.
words, and you did it very well. And very quickly, before we move into the next one, I have more screenshots to show, but these were taken after the event, so they're not canon. That one was just my Twitter picture.
Oh, is it the one I think?
And we got some others. We got Allura in her cell with the Watcher eyes. We have Honey, who couldn't make it to the event because she was on a plane. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
They were on a plane, but this is the outfit Honey was going to be wearing, which
Honey
is very
is leather.
cute. Very pretty. And this is not canon, but you know, we had some fun. Honey, Warren, and Chilzo meet up when.
Was it me who was playing? Was I?
It was
Warren
even
that
no, it was you
time?
as Warren, I think, because I'm
Yeah,
also
so-
there.
That is canon.
You
That
are
is
there.
canon. Yeah.
Rest in peace, fly high,
Oh,
duck,
there I am.
duck, duck.
Oh, I'm there, guys.
I do also have pictures of where all the ducks were hidden. And then Jam showed up. We have Brooke. We had two Brooks apparently. Brooke didn't die, guys. Brooke was
I think
accomplishing
it was me and you
mitosis.
in those skins because it's
Yeah,
Brooke.
definitely. We had
No one
Rose
else
show up.
listens.
We had a post law party. I think me and Chris were the Marses here. And then there was two Morans. And then everybody died.
It was fun.
We just kept murdering people for some
Yeah,
reason.
then Jesus, Minecraft Steve Jesus showed up.
That was Rose. That's got 100%
And
Rose.
that was about it. I can also quickly, if I go back far enough, that's not going to spoil anything. Actually, wait, I'm just gonna open a new one.
Just in case.
Yeah, I can quickly show people where all the ducks were because I think that's fun. So there was one by the very, very edge of the area, one in the sandwich place, one behind the portal, one in the petting zoo, one behind the cherry blossoms by the game that Lizzie made, one above the game that Lizzie made, one on the duck. There was one in the archery range,
I
one
remember
on
who
the
won
Ferris
that game.
wheel. Who broke the Ferris wheel? I think it was Greg.
Yeah, it was Greg, yeah.
We had
The person who won the Duck Duck game was Chris Chilzo.
It was
I
yippee,
did.
and then Chris
I remember.
got his elytra from that because we were like, you know what, you win, Chris Chilzo, because we love you.
No, literally, Chris is the only one who came up. It's like, I think afterwards or something, like, Chris came up to me. I was like, yeah, like, I finished it. And I looked, I was like, yeah, you're the one who's claimed to have done it, so like, you win.
Yeah, you found. I can't remember how many there were. I mean, I can actually count the pictures, but there was one behind the.
I think I found like
what's the
17,
pond?
which
I
wasn't
was
the
gonna say, I
correct
think it was
amount.
like
No,
But
you found the most
yeah.
out of
I
anybody.
accepted. Yeah, I accepted that.
One
You
by
know
the
what?
pancakes, one under the stage where people sat, which is probably the one no one found. One on the stage,
Just 20
hidden by the
total.
gold. We had one on the bush to the left of the stage in the bushes. One, I think that was in Jam's fortune teller booth, and Jam didn't even see it. One behind the bouncy castle, one behind Katie's, and then one in under the golf area, and then one by the boarded thingamabob, and one by the stairs down to the docks. And that was all of them. So yeah, that is all the duck locations. If anyone was wondering, I've probably shown them before. We have a shorter one now.
Yay!
Graciously, we have a shorter one. Wait a fucking minute. Why?
What?
Oh wait, no, we don't. We have Wither and Decay and then a short one. I
Yeah,
scrolled too
I
far
got the
past.
short one,
That's my
guys.
bad.
I have the short one.
So Wither and Decay was another one of those fun ones, which has been reordered on the thing. It was streamed very long after the party happened, but canonically it took place at the same time as the party because this is where Marsarcy was. Kitty was asleep in his house because she had not been sleeping because nightmares, and he, instead of going to the party and having matching outfits of Chris Chilzo, went to go and find that person who owned a flower before him that Allura told him about. While everyone was at the party, so no one would stop him. Yippee! That is our reasoning. Anyway, I will get into it. River and Decay. Lovely Tangled reference. As the rest of the residents of the sanctuary enjoy the festivities of the party, Mars sneaks away from his home with his dear horse, Athena, searching for the location Allura had directed him to, hoping to find the home of the former owner of the Eternal Rose. He muses to himself as he rides, hoping Allura rots away in her cell for all she did, though he's thankful he spoke to her for the closure it granted him. After searching for a while, Mars comes across a small campsite situated next to a dead tree, littered with weapons and speckled with blood. Guessing it must be the place he was looking for, he dismounts and begins to look around, picking up some rope arrows as he takes in the state of the place, finding the plant life to be withering and dead, before finding several books, some written by the camp owner and others by the scholar she killed. He learns that the past owner of the rose was named Fawn, an assassin who had been tasked with taking the flower from the scholar she'd killed, only to die herself at Allura's hands. She used the Eternal Rose to keep herself together whilst missing her soul, not quite a vessel and not quite alive, unsure what she was and trying desperately to figure it out. Finding the final book deep within a cave, Mars picks it up only for the flooring to collapse below him, dropping him into a pool even deeper in the cavern. The area is covered in dying, rotting plants, cold and dark and eerie in nature, his lantern being the only thing allowing him to see. Reading the last book, Mars learns of Fawn's fate, having been murdered by Panky after regaining her soul and somehow making her way back to the camp in her final moments. Her frantic rambles as she slowly dies makes Mars shudder, reading through her final moments as Fawn recalls the dream that had been haunting her since her first death. The void between worlds had infected her soulless corpse, kept together by the flower she had lost to the very witch who killed her, twisting and corrupting her till there was nothing left. As the book ends, Fawn mentions another, a strange tome that had appeared like magic, or perhaps she has simply been too human to reach it before. Dreadfully curious, Mars can't help but venture further into the cave, heading deeper and deeper until he finds that final, fateful book. Picking it up, Mars learns of the incomprehensible, eldritch creatures, beings touched or made from the very void itself, existing between reality. Fawn had become one of those creatures, he realized, being proved right as a hulking mass of rotting wood and moss grows from a puddle of blood, human blood, bringing life to the monstrous remains of the assassin's corpse. Panicking, Mars attempted to shoot the creature with his bow, his lack of experience doing nothing to help him as the creature shrieked and attacked him. He ran away as quickly as he could, noticing the monster was unable to follow, being rooted deeply in the ground. As he reaches the pool he'd fallen into, Mars takes out his rope arrow and takes another shot, this time being aided by his poor aim as it misses his target and hooks onto the edge of the hole. Quickly finding Athena, Mars rushes home with her, the magic of the Eternal Rose healing his wound as he arrives within his home. He muses over what he just found, the creature that he saw, and all he learned from Fawn's journals, planning to read through them again as well as the research notes from the scholar she'd killed. Exhausted from the day and, what would have been, for anyone other than him, a near-death experience, Mars heads to bed with many questions in his head. You know, sometimes I think that Mythrill is such a cute, lovely server, and then I remember
No.
how much death happens and the torture and
You can still have a happy cutesy server and have death in that, guys.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, but
true, but then I
also-
realize how much I have
I've done
influenced
happy and
or
cutesy
written or
things.
told people to go ahead with.
Okay, I've
Well,
done happy
also the
cutesy things
Eldritch
recently.
Horrors.
Also the
Let's not
Eldritch Horrors, which
feel
this
targeted.
entire bit was all about. We do love the
Yay.
Eldritch Horrors. I actually I want to find where I put the concept art for Fawn because it's very
It's
fun
in
and lovely. I have it saved on my PC. I'm just trying to find where.
Oh, I
where
was about to say, it's in. If you go to Twitch, you can get the image from there.
No, wait, I found it on my PC already.
To...
Let me show that quickly. I won't bother looking for the model file because that would take me longer, but this was the concept that Mars made, and then I developed into a 3D model to replace the Warden texture on the server. I was very proud of myself. It's very cool. We love Fawn. We love that little guy. But anyway, yeah, we will very quickly move on into Patchwork, which I will be reading.
Yeah.
Which is
Jamie and
a
Rose.
Jamie and Rose stream. Yay!
It is very cutesy.
You may begin whenever you are ready.
Jamie and Rose bump into each other within the sanctuary, starting up a conversation about the recent party and the recently revealed cause of Artemis's death. Noticing the witch's wondering gaze, Rose questions if everything is alright. Jamie suggesting that they head to her place for a change of scenery. In truth, Jamie had caught sight of Karma watching her, a common occurrence when visiting the sanctuary recently,
I'm sure that won't have
leaving
consequences.
her on edge and despite
It's probably
desperate
yeah.
and desperate to escape the demon's gaze. Arriving at Jamie's home, Rose is quick to notice just how messy the place is. Books and research thrown all over the place. The two sit down and talk about how they've been after everything. Rose saying how things have been rather quiet lately. The Vila eventually decides to tell Jamie about their past conversation with Allura, informing the witch that the Puka had been trapped within the sanctuary for some time. They talk about how they wanted to get closure, but Rose only got more grief. They chat about the villainous Puka for a while, Jamie being curious over her visit after visiting her tower all that time ago, agreeing that she was a very interesting character to say the least. Jamie also shares that she's visited the harbour alone, worrying Rose to no end, especially seeing as they spotted Warren there the last time they visited, all those many months ago now. The Vila leaves not long after, voicing their concerns for Jamie, allowing the witch to return to her research as they fly back towards their home.
Woo! Nice little short one. We love that.
Yeah.
Rose and Jam going through it. Every character's going through it, honestly.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the least going through it character? Because
Puff.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. I was
yeah,
gonna say
Puff got
Puff.
their curses removed and is chilling in like a really nice reconstructed elven ruin right now. So probably Puff.
Yeah. Puff is chilling at my house,
Everyone
basically.
else is either going through trauma, dealing with past trauma, or learning shit that's gonna lead to trauma. Speaking of learning shit that might lead to trauma, we've got a walk down memory name next, which is a Chris Chilzo and Chalice Swanstream, which I have screenshots for, so we're happy about this. Whenever you're
Yay.
ready, Chris.
Yeah, one sec. Let me
Good.
lock in.
Yes.
Oh, good. You got this, King.
Starting the day by reminiscing over the dramatic events of the recent party, Chilzo checks his mailbox, finding that Mars had returned the book they'd both found at the atmosphere camp a few weeks ago, along with the map and an apology for not attending the party with the demon like he said he would. They said they were going to have really cool matching suits, and that's very true. They were. Chilzo also discovered a letter from Charlie, inviting him to their museum and suggesting they meet at the sanctuary, just like they discussed at the party. With the book back in his possession, Chilzo sets out to the sanctuary to meet with his strange new acquaintance. The two meet and quickly make their way to the museum, with Charlie giving the demon the grand tour of the place, telling him of all their plans to make the place, telling him about all their plans for the place, and preserving the valley's history and memory. With that goal in mind, they head to the library section of the building, where Charlie shows Chilzo the other books written by the member of Atmosphere who used who they used to be a part of, even though they struggle to remember it now. Chilzo takes an interest in Stephen, the leader of the group's books, and together they sit down to read them. However, he's rather saddened to not find anything of the safe within the pages. Hoping that Charlie might be able to help him unlock the safe, Chilzo gives them one of Timothy's books and his map of the campsite, thinking that might help the Phoenix remember something useful. They agree to contact each other should they find anything else related to the group, forging a friendship in their mutual desire to uncover the lost history of the group, despite Charlie's almost fearful reluctance. With knowledge shared and goals established, Chilzo departs back to his home for the day.
Mike was muted. Yippee!
Yo. You
Yeah.
slid.
I think that's all of my.
I thought you meant my mic was muted then. I was like, oh
No, you were good. My
Here
mic
we
was
go
muted. I did a
again.
yippee and then I had to repeat my yippee. And there's a Clive picture for everybody. Everyone miss
I love
Clive.
Clive.
We love Clive. We love Clive so much. Okay. Oh, this next one's a juicy one. Yay!
Oh,
I
Lizzie, you're
just
gonna
get,
love
like all the
this.
juicy ones.
Lizzie,
Yeah,
I
'cause-
hope you have fun. Everyone take a drink of water. Everyone have a nice breath and
I'm
get
gonna
ready.
go
I get all the juicy
Chat,
ones.
get ready to maybe cry. I don't know how good my writing of
Okay.
this one was. I'm pretty sure I did it delirious. Anyway, have
You cooked.
I
I'll be
could
back in a minute.
yippee. Okay,
Continue.
whenever you're ready, Lizzie.
Let me crack my knuckles. Okay, there we go. After having a nightmare of the death of their friend Anna, is it Anna or Anna? I don't know how JB pronounces it. I'm just gonna say Anna. An event which she accidentally caused, Jamie wakes in a cold sweat. Heading downstairs, they take a seat with their cat for a moment as they try to calm down, deciding to go outside to get some fresh air. As they leave, Brooke approaches her, having been looking for copper to give it to their golem Nari. Needing to take her mind off things, Jamie offers to help Brooke go looking for copper, the two heading off to find a cave as they chat. As they adventure, they begin to talk about the recent party and its surprising revelation, with Brooke commenting that it mustn't have been nice to learn what happened to Artemis that way. They enter the depths as they chat, discovering a large expanse of copper which they both start collecting, unaware of the cave-in that happened behind them. Beginning to panic as they realize they are trapped, desperately trying to find a way out to no avail. Scared and claustrophobic, Brooke sits down as she tries to remain positive, comforting Jamie as best they can through their own stress. With nothing else to do, Jamie sits beside their friend to talk, checking on how they're doing as she gives them a duck plushie for comfort. Brooke says they're doing alright, but Jamie isn't fully convinced. In an attempt to escape the cave, Jamie summons their magic in hopes of breaking out, unleashing a large burst of power as their necklace glows brightly. Out of sight, Brooke feels their heart seize. Their body becomes engulfed in pain, her very soul shuddering as the world loses focus, reaching out to Jamie as she turns around. Cradled in the witch's arms, Brooke draws a final, shaking breath as she passes away. Shocked, shattered, and so painfully sad, Jamie forces her way out of the cave, breaking down as they mourn the sudden loss of their beloved friend. Panicked beyond belief, Jamie's quick to blame herself for Brooke's death, comparing it to Anna's, and somehow knowing it had to be her fault. With the party fresh in mind, Jamie worries over what would happen to them if anyone else found out, terrified of being chased away like she was before. Needing comfort, the witch runs home to find their familiar, Estella, only to be greeted by the ghost of the very friend she just killed. The ghost of Brooke states that she returned to say goodbye properly, wanting to have one final conversation with her best friend before she passes on. Jamie cries, telling Brooke she was meant to explore beyond the valley together, but the ghost tells Jamie she can do it with Nari instead. Before she leaves, Brooke asks Jamie to take care of Nari for her, promising to wait for her friend in the afterlife as she fades away from sight, their last words a declaration of their love for their friend. Alone once again, Jamie breaks down once more, sobbing on the steps of their home as they mourn Brooke. They head inside, finding Nari and Estella, before running away towards the harbor and taking refuge within Artemis's old home, not wanting to be found by anyone as they wallow in regret.
This cooked.
Yippee! Guys,
Okay,
we only
great.
have 3 more left to read.
Ah!
We're gonna get this
No
done
way.
under 3 hours. I'm so impressed. We've done so great today, guys. Also,
We've cooked.
Brooke is like that one. I think it's a Lana Del Rey song. Born to Die.
Yeah, that literally Brooke was written to die, and I
Yeah.
made it most. I personally made it gut wrenching for people.
I believe our initial concept, because we went with Jam to come up with this idea, was we were gonna get a member to be the character who Jamie accidentally killed, but
Yeah.
nobody wanted to kill the character like that. So
Which I respect. Like I respect it.
yeah,
I get it.
we had one person put their name forward, and then because of IRL stuff, had to back out. So knowing that Elle was going to die anyway.
I was like, I got you.
We
guys.
made an
Let's kill another
NPC.
L character.
Exactly.
Actually,
we were like,
it's not
if
my
we...
character. Well, Brooke didn't start as my character. Brooke ended as my character.
Yeah. Brooke started as a, okay, so Artemis is gonna die. When Artemis is dead, Elle will pray Brooke, and then when Brooke dies,
It all came together.
it was a circle, the circle of life.
I
But
was like, it was so nice the first time I had to do it twice.
hell
real,
yeah.
real.
If there is like a one-off NPC who is not a deity, you pretty much know they're screwed. Like we haven't
think the
had
thing
many.
is, at
but...
that point though, I think because Artemis had died, for some people they're like, oh, maybe this is Elle's new character. I know some people did think that, like viewers and that. They were like,
yeah.
oh, is this like your new character? I just went, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not saying
They
no.
should have known when you never streamed from Brooke's POV. Maybe we should have done that to sell it more, who knows? But nah,
I mean,
you deserve the break.
if I had a second character, I probably wouldn't have streamed it, just so it wouldn't get mixed up.
It's very very stressful. I don't know how people play 2 characters on I would say that as I play an NPC, but like
I mean when you play them separately though, it's different.
Yeah.
It's like when you don't stream
if you're playing one that you stream and one that is an NPC, it makes a lot of sense. Anyway, waffling. We're going into the next one because we're almost done, and I'm excited to be almost done. And I don't actually think I have any more screenshots that are relevant to the rest of these, so that's sad for the whiteboard, but it's okay. We have 2 very pretty people on the whiteboard right now, and that's all you guys need to pay attention to.
That's
as
true.
we go into
Real.
advice from an idol. I'm so glad you agree that you're pretty, Lizzie. Um, Anyway, advice from an idol, which, speaking of NPCs, is a Jelly and Karma stream. Yippee! This stream whole concept was wrapping up a couple of members who had left the server. For whatever reasons, no hard feelings to anybody. Some people just don't have time, and that is perfectly fair. But yeah, we like giving law reasons for where people go. So, with that in mind, having reached a dead end in their investigation, Jelly heads to the Sanctuary's temple to ask Karma's advice, telling the Demon Princess that they've discovered so far and bring up several suspects that they haven't been able to find. Jelly also shows Karma the strange letters they found at Honey's place, having gone to look for the angel during the party and finding the letters instead, completely brushing off how suspicious they all seem. After praising their efforts, Karma suggests that Jelly have a look around Claire's house, the ghost having been one of the people they couldn't find, mentioning that they'd last seen Melora around there. They could have left evidence of where they went, she muses, and Jelly agrees to take a look. The princess also recommends they have a look around the location the party was held at, having seen Honey visit there after the event had already ended. Before leaving, Karma gifts Jelly a dual-bladed scythe, citing that the valley has been growing more and more dangerous, and it's best to stay armed, as well as telling them to view it as a gift for doing a good job. Heading to Claire's, Jelly can't find the ghost or Melora anywhere, instead finding a book left within their smithing room, along with an axe. Reading through the book, Jelly learns that Melora had recruited Claire and seemingly some other unnamed people to join them on a crusade against Warren, wanting to ask the god for something and planning to attack him if refused. Jelly instantly becomes worried over what could have happened to them all, fearing the worst but trying to remain hopeful despite the odds. With Karma's lingering words about staying armed in their head, Jelly decides to take the axe Claire left behind, planning to give it to someone else, seeing as the ghost likely won't be coming back for it. With their investigation finished, Jelly makes their way over to the party area, hoping to find some sign of Honey's whereabouts. Instead, Jelly stumbles across a field of cornflowers, heart filling with dread as the dots connect within their head. It's not reiterated in this little catch-up, but Jelly's initial investigation started with the sanctuary being filled with cornflowers and Karma asking them to find out who done it. And as you can see by the end, it seems we've had a repeat incident, and there might be a very obvious suspect. I wonder if that's suspicious at all. Going from one suspicious demon to another, we now have Revenge, which is a lovely Bagel Queen Lilith stream that will be read by the lovely El Ponferi.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Okay.
This also had a Kaloy animatic, and everyone
Cooked.
everyone follow Kaloy. Thanks thing again. Follow Kaloy on Twitter and also Blue
Real.
Sky and everywhere. Give Kaloy a kiss. Mwah. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Lilith awakens from her slumber, having been plagued by nightmares and memories of when she first arrived within the valley. Not every town was kind to demons, as she somberly remembers, and the Northern West was no exception. Thoughts linger in her mind. Lilith leaves her room only to discover Sheba, apparently been watching after her as she slept. The hybrid explains that Lilith has been asleep since the party, which was over a month ago, and he decided to check on the half-demon often to ensure she wasn't dead. With his explanations given and brief exchange of small talk, Lilith leaves for a walk. Heading towards the sanctuary, her nightmares return to the forefront of her mind, consuming her thoughts and filling her with rage. With Lilith's last scheme success ringing in her ear, she decides to take matters into her own hands once more, putting together a hasty plan and making her way towards the tailor's. Entering the building, Lilith finds Jay, asking her, with only a minor amount of hesitation, for a cloak. The Fae light reprimands Lilith for her actions at the party, telling her that the warlock has been missing since, which in her mind can only mean one thing. Even still, Jay empathizes with Lilith's actions, but she warns the half-demon to think more before she acts in the future. One day, the consequences will catch up to her. With a final warning to not involve anyone under her protection in the schemes again, Jay fulfills Lilith's request, giving the half-demon a dark cloak and wishing her luck in her next endeavour. With her disguise acquired, Lilith heads to the north of the valley, finding her way to the village she had first resided in. Sneaking through the crowds, the town soon devolves into chaos as Lilith burns their homes and tears about their leaders. The Watchers surrounding Lilith as she draws her on her demonic power and destruction. Revenge complete, Lilith slowly makes her way back towards the sanctuary, ecstatically cheering over her victory and reminiscent over paying the humans back for their past cruelty towards her. She laughs, loud and bright and full of malice, before sudden pain echoes within her head. Ears ringing at the voices of Watchers grow unbearably loud. Night bleeds into day as the half-demon drags herself closer to the sanctuary, head pounding with pain, only to pass out. The last thing she hears is Sheba, desperately crying out as he watches her crumble.
Yippee! I wonder what happened there.
I don't know, man.
Really bad headache.
Lilith wakes up from a months-long sleep, decides great idea to murder a town because they made fun of her horns, and then has a really bad migraine.
Casually.
Yeah. Like,
That's
tell me, you don't have a
underplaying
really
it a
bad
bit,
migraine
but
when you wake up and decide to murder a town.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's.
Well, I've got to side with the demon here a little bit. I'm sorry,
I mean,
guys.
yeah.
I was like, I'm a bit biased, however.
Yeah, it's a very, like, we don't go into it a lot because nobody wants to play a fantasy racist character. But you know, demons aren't all that happily looked upon in the universe.
Yeah.
All of the time. It depends on people. Fae aren't either, which is why Karma and Jay get along so well. But yeah, that stream kind of confirms there are other people in the valley outside of like the people in the sanctuary and the members. We also had that with that one werewolf character who got murdered by Warren. We love Willow. Still can't find the skin I used for her. I think it's lost forever.
It's lost media.
It's lost media. I found it on NameMC. Could not find it again on NameMC. So we cry about it, but you know, it's chill. Whole pack of werewolves murdered, whole town also murdered. Not by Warren this time though. No, I'm sure he approved. You know.
Warren approves this message.
I'm sure nothing bad will come of any of this. But speaking of any of this, that was a bad segue. We have one more, and it'll be read. We're on the last, and it'll be read by the lovely Chris Chilzo. This is obviously not the most recent stream that has happened on the server. This was streamed back in July, but it was my cutoff point because I was like, yeah, this is enough to cover in one catch-up. So yeah, this is a me and Rose stream with some tasty little things at the end, which I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy, and it won't cause any problems. But whenever you're ready, Chris, you can read.
Having not seen the Velo in a while and wanting to apologize for their past conversation with Allura, Jay heads towards Rose's house to pay them a visit. The Fae muses over the people who've gone missing recently. Oh, one sec. Thanks. Oh, awesome. I just got thrown socks. That's amazing.
Oh my
Sorry,
god,
guys.
socks!
Yeah.
You're good. No, the socks delivery was very important for the lore.
It was actually.
It was very important for the lore. You may go.
What was I up to?
You can
The
restart
Fae
if you want.
muses, I believe.
Okay.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
The Fae muses over the people who've gone missing recently. Another person for them to visit is Rose. And how poor Lilith's actions were during the party. Despite not hurting anyone like she'd caused a lot of anguish, so she can't really blame them. In the past, she herself would have done much worse after all. Finding the Fae within their home, they head inside to catch up, talking about how things have been since the events of the party. Jay questions if Rose had seen her lid recently, worried about their state after their last conversation, but they haven't seen her since the event. Trying to be more positive, Jay gives Rose some flowers before apologizing for what happened with Allura. Something which the Vila appreciates but says isn't her fault. Allura's just like that. Now Now on to the topic. Jay questions what Allura said to upset Rose so much. The two talking about how the puka had something to do with the loss of their wings and having apparently been in possession of them for a very long time before the auction. Curious, the Fae theorizes that Allura must have taken them before the valley was originally destroyed 10,000 years ago, but it seems unlikely given that Rose shouldn't have been alive in that, if that was the case, having practically no memory of their life before. Names of a man they think they recognize but can't recall the name of.
Can you restart that, Chris? Your mic cut out for like a good
Mm,
10 seconds.
Which part did it do?
I got the no
Man.
memory, I think. Was that it?
Yeah, so yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, Ella's highlighted it.
Okay. So, having practically no memory of their life before arriving in the valley a year ago, Rose has no answers to what could have happened to them, only hazy dreams of a man they think they recognize but can't recall the name of. And then what's that for? Is the first word the same or is it on the next thing?
The next paragraph starts with it's supposed to be mentioning, but
Okay.
it's put the wrong
Mentioning
word.
of don't worry. Mentioning the first memory of being awakened within a tree just outside of the valley with their wings, Tree comes up with a theory based in myth and legend. When inflicted with enough trauma and distress, the most magically inclined creatures had been rumored to be able to enter a sort of stasis, being assisted by nature in order to heal them from their strife. Essentially, she theorizes that Rose may have entered a sort of magical coma after losing their wings, hence why they awoke within a tree. They have so few memories of their past and they haven't aged. Such a rare phenomenon can't naturally be caused, making the research on it sparse and hard to confirm. However, it's the only thing Jay can think of, even if it feels like a reach. They figure that the man Rose remembers was likely someone close to them, a friend or family member or a loved one. He could have also been the last person Rose saw before falling asleep, or even potentially the person that stole their wings. But without Rose's memory, it's impossible to know for certain. Despite the uncertainty, Jay reminds Rose that no matter what they remember about their past, they have people in the present who love and care for them. No matter what happens, Rose won't be alone, which the Vila is thankful to hear. Rose thanks Jay for visiting, having found their wisdom comforting and helpful, wishing the Fae well as she makes her way back to the sanctuary. Alone once again, Jay decides to pay a visit to Allura, having not spoken to her once and wanting to try and get some
Oh
finds the place
no.
destroyed.
The mic
The
cut out
culprit and
again.
all too no.
It cut
It's
out
fine.
at trying to find some answers was the last bit I heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good this is
Having
the
not
last
spoken to
one.
him months. Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Alone once again, Jay decides to pay a visit to Allura, having not spoken to her in months and wanting to try and get some answers again. Instead of finding the puka in her cell, Jay finds the place destroyed. For an all too familiar creature being belonging to none other than Lilith. Thoroughly freaking out and panicked over Allura's escape, Jay runs from the cell, not knowing what to do as everything begins to fall apart.
We love when that happens.
Whoa.
Also, not me going to
Yay.
correct my misspelling of mentioning, only to realize I don't know how to spell the word mentioning. My dyslexic ass can't do shit. I only recently learned how to write desperately, which is why it keeps showing up as like despite
There
or
you
something
go.
in the script. Thank you. See, I do know how that's how it's spelled, but I cannot spell it out loud.
No, I get you.
I'm bad at my job. Anyway, that's all the catch-ups that we have. Yippee!
Yeah,
Round of
round of
applause for all of our
applause.
lovely, lovely people. We apologize for the minor technical difficulties. Chris Chilzer, we're sorry for getting you cancelled so hard your internet went out with the kidnapping
Real.
allegations. we blame Katie Gober for starting those allegations.
Yeah.
Katie Gober just did a DDoS on your internet.
I blame her for a lot of things.
I don't know if Katie's still here, but we love you, Katie. We love you.
I miss you,
I
Katie.
miss
Real.
you, Katie. But yeah, we finished a little, just a tiny bit earlier than I thought we would. So if anyone in chat has Mythrill related questions they want to ask or things they want to talk about, since this will likely be the second to last Mythrill Monthly that we do, feel free to ask. We're gonna vibe for a little bit with the music. Obviously, Chris and Lizzie, if you have places to be and you want to shoot off, you are more than free to. But if you want, you can also just vibe.
No, sorry, you're stuck.
I'm just gonna lie here and then input if I need to, if I want to.
That's very base. That's very base. Actually, before you lie there, Chris, is there anything you guys want to promo or talk about? Seeing as you've been our very special guest today, is there anything you want to make the viewers excited about? And Elle can put your links back in chat again. Thank you, Elle.
I love how I was already getting them.
I knew you'd cut onto what I'm doing. You guys got any plans? Doesn't have to be Mythrill related. It can be anything that you wanna talk about. Any upcoming streams? Any silly things you wanna say?
Lizzie, you absolutely can go first.
I was waiting for you to go first.
They're
Bro,
both
Oh.
too
this
polite.
this is the energy of like when you get to a door and someone else is up beside you, like, no, you
no,
go
no,
first.
after you. No,
No,
after
you
you.
go first.
One of you go first.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
go.
I'm gonna pick you both up by the scruff of the neck.
Challenges SMP, we're cooking for that soon.
Yeah!
It
The
won't be for
best
ages,
server.
but it won't be for ages, but we're working on it. And then Corecraft also is another server I'm working on, which is like a Hermitcraft inspired server, and it's on Blue Sky. You want to go check those out? It's at, let me find what the ad is. I don't even know the out of my own servers.
That's okay. It's hard to keep track.
Found
It's
it.
at Corecraft
Elle's
underscore
already on it.
Twitter, and then on Blue Sky, I believe it
Warcraft
is.
SMP.bsky.social.
Yeah, okay, you guys are just quicker than I am. Okay.
I got it as soon as you said the words.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
Highly
go. Yeah.
recommend you go check those out, guys, because anything ran by Chris Chilzo is always amazing and lovely, and such a fun time. Yippee!
I try.
Anything you're up to, Lizzie? Anything you want to publicly share with the class? Any secrets I can wrangle out of you?
Well, you
Like, what
already
was in
know
your
mine.
sandwich?
I already know stuff, but is chat allowed to know?
I sent the picture of the sandwich.
Lizzie was eating a sandwich before this started, and we still do not know what mystery meat was in it. It looked like beef, was not beef.
America just put
not
all
beef.
types of meat in their mouth for some reason.
It could be anything. Could be anything.
That's awful.
Yeah, I phrased it like that on purpose.
Ken knows what he's talking about. Look at that. Big up
Yeah,
Chris Chilzo.
it feels weird promoting myself on other people's streams.
Do
Promote
it.
yourself. Don't worry, April. We're doing a little Q&A at the end. So you can vibe. I need to actually set this to that. But yeah, what do you want? Talk about yourself, Lizzie. What are you doing? I don't know if the things that you're doing can be talked about yet.
Okay, well I'll talk about 3 things.
Okay, please do.
Specifically, okay, so Worm SMP has applications coming up very soon. I'm trying to revamp the mod pack, but if people want a lore server that they want to like indulge themselves in, then you can enjoy that.
It's got
It's on,
dragons. It's got cool things.
It's got me.
It's on
It's got
Twitter.
L.
It does have L.
It does have L. It might have someone else here. Blinks heavily.
It's got Lizzie.
It's got Lizzie. It's got dragons. What more do you need? What else? What else?
It's both on Twitter and Blue Sky, for those interested. Second thing, I'm probably got to push the date to like middle of November, but I'm trying to run like a little competition event thing called Biome Builds, and where people get teamed up, and then you can build like specific islands, and it's like a palette challenge thing.
Yeah, it's like different people are put onto teams almost, and they have like their biome or the mushroom island, and they have set blocks they can work with, and yeah, it's very cool concept. I love your ideas. I kiss your little brain and your little head. Mwah.
Oh my god, thank you.
Yeah.
That one's specifically on Blue Sky. And the last thing, it involves a certain someone in this VC. It's strictly next year though. But I'm cooking with Elle. Just need that to be known.
Yeah.
I do not know about this.
Yeah, this one's been so low key.
Actually, I saw something on a private Twitter
Yeah,
I might know about this. Never
you know,
mind.
you know, like one piece
I've
of the
seen
puzzle.
a
That's your hint.
screenshot.
We've
I'm
cooked.
very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Other things that we can mention. Me and Elle with the lovely Jamie Can Fly have a lore stream tomorrow. I
Yeah.
will not be streaming it because I've been put on tech duty since we have some special
No,
things going
I'm
on.
about to say you put yourself on tech
I
duty.
put myself on tech duty because I have to stream tomorrow and I don't want to stream on a Monday. I don't like streaming on Mondays because I have driving lessons on Mondays and they stress me out. But Ellen Jam will be streaming, so that is going to
Yeah.
be some fun Mythrill lore. And then you, Lizzie and Jam, have some Mythrill lore.
Local trio.
Yes,
love that
I
trio name.
can't pull up my dates thing. That's not.
It's the 2nd of November.
It's the 2nd of November, but that's
Yeah.
like not next. Is
It's
that
a
next
close.
week?
It's a week today.
It's a week. It's a week today. Look at that.
Yeah, Halloween.
I'm
Because
playing with it.
it's the
Oh,
31st on Thursday.
It's
I
gonna be
see. I
really
see.
cute. Y'all don't want to miss it.
Yeah,
There's
that
been a lot of
is
cooking.
that is all the lore that we have on the books scheduled
They
right
should be all
now.
very
But
cutesy. There should be no angst.
there
There
should
should
be.
all be all cutesy guys.
better
I
be.
mean, when
Don't look at me.
putting you and Jam in a room together is always a
Not
recipe for some
hey.
angsty
The last time
disaster.
we did
I'm
stuff,
sorry.
it was kind of cutesy.
And
I'm just
but then
saying.
Jam was also crying over
Yeah.
you having died and then come back to
I
life.
did not
It's
cry.
always gonna be angsty with you guys. But we love it. We love it.
Actually, it says a talent.
But yeah, those are the only things we have on the books right now. We are very, very frantically trying to get other people to do some lore that we need before the finale. I have made some tweets about how I am working on the finale. Spoiler alert, I have not started working on the finale. Uh, I'm starting on it this week. I have 6 hours worth of footage to sort through and a lot of technical jargon to think about, and it's a lot. I'm going through it. I'm gonna work it out. But I guess on a personal note, since we are on my Twitch, if streams become very inconsistent, that is why, because I'm gonna be putting a lot of my energy into helping out other people on the server and getting that video done. So I'm gonna try to do a stream every weekend, but we'll see what comes of it. I am gonna be live doing a not Mythrill related stream tomorrow, so y'all can enjoy that. That's my details. Nobody has asked any Mythrill related questions in the chat, so people still have 20 minutes to pop in and say whatever stuff they want to. But aside from that, are there any fun things that we can talk about? Any lore that we went over today that you guys feel we should add some comments to?
Everything I do is completely off the cuff and just kind of goes crazy in terms of just being last minutely planned.
But we love it. We love it.
Somehow it
that-
coherently makes sense.
I've said this to
Oh,
Jay recently of like, because obviously none of my live streams have been put in this one because obviously for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But Jay goes to me. I think it was the calm one, and it's like, so what's the plan? It's fuck it me ball. That's all. That's what I said to people. I'm just like, so here's kind of the gist, but like we can ball from there. Like we don't need a structure fully. It's just like, yeah.
The best way I can describe the lore on Mythrill, because there's hundreds of roleplay SMPs or like servers out there where they do like different kind of things. I've seen servers where everything is like when you're online, it's lore all the time and you just kind of go for it. I've seen servers which are completely fully scripted down to the letter and all that stuff. Mythrill is the semi-scripted middle ground where we go, okay, so and so are going to do a stream. Here is the main premise that we kind of want to deal with in this stream, or maybe we just want to have our characters interact, or maybe this, maybe that, maybe building on something else, building on something that's going to happen in the future, whatever. And then we go in and we do it. And when we're live and we're doing it, that is all improv, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And everyone has done a really good job. I think the main important thing of RP, and this just goes for like everybody, whether you're doing
Yeah.
it on a private server, you're doing it on a public server, whether you're doing written RPs or whatever style you're interested in doing. The main thing that matters is making sure the people you're doing it with are happy with what you're going to be doing, that you don't like push any boundaries, and you keep everything like safe, sane, and consensual.
Consent is the main answer, guys.
Yeah, and that's that's what
Yeah.
I do. I don't know. I felt like going on that tangent. I don't know why.
No, yeah.
No, it's fair.
It's just a good thing to keep in mind, you know.
Oh my god, there's a dragon over here.
So there's
Lizzie's playing Minecraft.
there is a question. Does anyone have a headcanon about Buttercup Wife since the song is playing? I don't know what song's playing.
Was Buttercup playing? But Build Me a Buttercup might have been playing. It's not
Probably.
anymore. Good Kid is playing, which is the Mars song. One thing about Buttercups that I can say is during the last stream that was read, the Outside Out of Mind stream, it is mentioned that I give Rose some flowers. I specifically gave Rose 9 buttercups, which buttercups are the Buttercup Wives flower, obviously. And, you know, my girl's always sad about her missing wife, which is very relevant recently. But also 9 was Allura's cipher number, which was like a little backwards hint, considering me and Rose talked about Allura in that stream, and at the end of that stream, I discovered that Allura was missing from her cell, which is a fun little tidbit. We enjoy that.
This is not to do with Mythrill. It just perked in my head because you was on about stuff like that. So you know Beethoven's symphony. This is so wild.
Yes, I am aware of Beethoven.
The bam 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 bam, like bam bam bam. That's actually Morse code I learnt today.
Oh,
that is exactly what. Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, I think I heard about that from a TikTok.
I learnt that from my criminology assignment that I had to do, which was to describe if this graffiti was art, crime, or like political. And I learnt about like different types, and I was like, that's so interesting that it's Morse code.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Beethoven, but some classical musician, someone uncovered some of their old work and it was released this year. And there's been controversy about if it's as good as the original work or not, which is rather funny, completely unrelated to Mythrill, but it's just rather funny.
It's like when you was like saying like about the number of like obviously it's referencing Allura, but not like saying that, like it's not said and that, but it's like cool, and it just made me think of that type thing as well.
Yeah, it's very, very fun.
Obviously someone who knows Morse code would probably like pick up on that a lot more.
I really want to learn Morse code. I love learning things. I find it really hard to learn things. I've got the undiagnosed everything. And I dropped my fidget cube on the floor, and now I'm sad. Oh
that's
no.
what that was.
Yeah,
I keep
sorry.
getting told
Huh? What was
I keep getting told that I have autism.
Yeah. I've had many people who are autistic or have ADHD come to me and tell me that I am also probably autistic and have ADHD, and I'm starting to think that I actually have both.
No, yeah. Do you know the first
I had
person
Beanie psychoanalyze me because Beanie does psychology
for me as well. It was Beanie who told me first as well. It was when, do you know when we've been in VC and like as friends do, like they do the talk. It was then when I just could fully understand. I was like, just explained what they said to other people.
Yeah. No,
that was the moment they said.
It's only semi-related, but I was mowing the lawn with my dad the other day because he has a crippled back and can't do it himself. And I had the thought, is my father neurotypical, mildly autistic, or just an asshole? I could not decide which one.
Hear me out.
Why not all
three?
All three. I mean, he can't be neurotypical and autistic at the same time, can he?
Maybe he's just masking.
Maybe
he definitely thinks he's neurotypical.
Maybe he's masking as a neurotypical.
Maybe
the only thing, is an arsehole. It works.
The only thing that makes me think he might be on the spectrum is kind of the way he explains things, and the way he understands things is very much I do it, and then he does it, and it's very easy for him. And and I don't know how to put that into words.
No, I get you. My dad is neurodivergent. As much as he denies it, he is. He's confirmed. He does the same thing.
Yeah, I do not know. I am not a
There's one of
psychiatrist. I am not.
There's one or two explanations of it. It's an army thing or it's neurodivergent because they're both.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Huh. Yeah. But yeah, I am not a psychologist. I am not going to psychoanalyze my dad. I have no authority over any shit. I can't even confirm myself if I am autistic or ADHD. But I do
Or
like
both.
psychology. I almost studied it in school. So yeah, I know some things, but I can't say
I do it
shit.
in my free time.
Yeah, it's fun learning about stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway,
I'm guessing that's everything. Question mark?
yeah, I'm just trying to find things to fill out the last little bit of time so we can
Yeah.
round out the final hour and then
What?
call today a
Let me
day.
think. Let me think of something to yap about for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm trying to think of any fun Mithril related things, but a lot of stuff I feel like we can't talk about until the server is over.
Yeah.
Our
I
cutting
can't
room
wait for that
floor is
day.
dreadful. And I know that day I'm gonna forget everything I have to say.
No, yeah.
Don't you guys
I
love when that thing happened in the finale?
That's my
Don't
favorite
you love it?
thing.
Don't you guys love that the
I
finale?
can't wait to like after where we can just like talk about everything because like I can't wait to talk about like concept ideas for like just
Mm,
art like Artemis alone and was like yeah we didn't
yeah,
use these like I had this idea didn't use it still in my
yeah.
back pocket gonna use it one day.
I'll say that this exists, but I won't show anybody any of it. When Arc 2 was a thing, before it started, I wrote a whole document of like the different characters and the ways that Allura could potentially manipulate them to get their souls as like an idea background of like where the plot could go. And obviously not all of it got explored, but that exists.
Mm,
Um I was supposed to be doing a collection of like what Warren sightings we would have throughout the server, but those or like during Arc 3, but those became a little bit more random and spur of the moment as things went on just because of like different people's availabilities and all of the stuff. So that isn't really much of
yeah.
anything to show. Um there was something else that I was going to say and then I promptly forgot it. Which is fun. Oh, I can give the chat a fun little like it is I wouldn't call it a spoiler. It's more of here's a bit of information that is tasty and I'm not going to give you full context for.
Oh,
But
you can they
well,
can like
they get to know something.
theorize.
They get to know something, but they don't get to know what that something directly is.
Yeah.
So basically, the finale is something that I am going to be slowly working on. I have said before that we are it's a mix of Minecraft cinematics and illustrated animatics by a varying array of artists. Um, there is one fully complete animatic that we have which was made by Kaloy. It is the only
Yeah.
Lizzie and Elle have seen this.
I'm dead
Um,
because of
Elle
I'm also
died
dead
IRL
because of
from
it.
watching it. As we all know, Kaloy has done many animatics for members of the server who have commissioned them. Caleb
mm,
volunteered to help out with the finale and make this one. I will not tell you what they did, what they drew for the
It
finale or
hurts.
any of that. Just know that
Aloy cooked.
Kaloy art will be in the finale video,
Yeah, Kayla
and
fucking cooked with it. I'm gonna
yeah,
say that.
that's
It's
all you
true.
guys get to know.
Mhm.
Is that we love Kaloy in this house, and yeah.
Me when I commissioned Kayla, literally.
Me, I want to commission Kalo more. Kalo is amazing, but
I am commissioning Kayla for
money,
something.
money. I say
Yes.
I commissioned Mars to make me a Blue Sky exclusive PFP because I
Mhm.
solely because I wanted to give him money so he could buy something off Etsy he wanted, but he wouldn't let me pay him like without him doing something. So I
Yeah,
commissioned him instead.
that's such a yeah.
I was like, you
That's
can't stop me
excellent.
if you're doing something for me. And he was like, oh
Mm.
man. I outsmarted the smarty pants. I did it. I did it.
Who did? I did that that for someone else once before.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it was they wouldn't. It's like it wasn't a commission. It was art they did, but because they spent a long time with it. Like you could tell like the quality. I was like, this is amazing. Like, can I pay for it type thing? Because I didn't like. So I ended up finding their pay. Someone I asked a friend who I knew had their PayPal. Was like, hey, because it was a business one. Like there was no
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
legal name on it. I was like, hey, can you give me their like PayPal? I need to pay them for something. And I still got the money to them.
Oh my god. Unrelated to that real quick. I still have my folder of Mythrill screenshots open. And it's from one of the finale recordings, and I can't show it because of the skin details. But I just have a picture of someone in Chris's skin dabbing.
Oh, I think I know
Oh, I
who.
remember that.
Oh,
I
Can
want to
I
say it was
guess which
it was
body actor?
Magix. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
I
it
was to
was
say
Magix.
I'm guessing it
Yeah,
was my
it's
husband.
always
I
Magix.
love Magix. I love
We
him.
love Magix, but I
He's
just
so good at
found that and I was like, oh my
why would they
god.
do that to me?
no, but it's Magix. Magix is so
Because
goated. But I will say,
I mean, I've got plenty
Magix
of
is so
Magic's pole dancing
he
in a
pole
Farron
dances a bit.
cosplay. So
He pole dances a lot, is what I've learned.
yeah. I'll you know what, chat, you can get this one because there's no spoilers in it.
Um,
Magic's.
I
It's
love him.
Magic's with a little jam in the background. Look at them. Got that. What's the song where the guy pole dances to hell? I forget
Oh,
what it's called.
oh, what's his
No, it's not
name?
Inferno.
No, I think it
No, it's
is.
not. It's the other one. Inferno's the Bella one. This is the other one.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I know his name, but I
Is
just
it Lil Nas?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Montero.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there's a fun little Magic's pole down. This is what happens when we put the emote craft on the server, and this is why I
The
did not
thing
have
is,
emote craft on the server initially.
he's so good at he's so quick at using them. That's the
He's so
thing.
good at pole dancing.
That's not what I was gonna say.
That is what you were
However,
gonna say.
that's not what I was gonna
It's
say.
what you were thinking, Al.
No,
It's what you were thinking when I sent you these screenshots.
no. When I got the screenshot, I remember my reaction so clear as day.
Oh, oh my
I don't want to talk
goodness.
about my reaction to that. I'm just saying.
It's okay. You can talk about your reaction to your husband pole
No.
dancing. It's fine. This is a safe
Was it
space.
completely sane and rational?
Was it safe,
Yeah,
sane, and
yeah.
consensual? Yeah, Esh was
Hold
there. Esh witnessed this. Esh saw how crazy we can be. That's the funniest thing about having people outside of the server help out with recordings
I
is
think my favorite
see our
thing
silly
was
stuff.
when Ash was helping stuff and like Artemis was right there. Bestie was like, I just didn't realize that was Artemis, and it's still funny to this day.
Yeah, but yeah, that's spoilers for the next Mythrill Monthly. But like we can we've already mentioned some little bits, but
We're teasing it a bit, you know. We're
it's
this at the
it's
end.
because we're in the future and we already know that you can buy it alive. But it's okay because you got dipped in blueberries.
Dipped in the void.
Dipped in the void, dipped in the blueberries. The
Blueberries.
void does taste like blueberry sauce, I'm imagining now. It just dyes everything purple.
I got bad news for you guys. I dislike blueberries.
Oh, that's fair,
Maybe
same.
that's why you didn't like being dead.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I like blueberry muffins a lot, but I don't like
I
actual
love blueberry
blueberries.
muffins as
Blueberry
well.
muffins
Hey!
go crazy.
They do. I want a blueberry muffin so bad right now. Ah!
Where do you, I'm gonna go to like what's the purple hotel chain around the UK? What's it called? Premier Inn. I'm
Premier
gonna go to a
Inn.
Premier Inn breakfast. I'm gonna steal a
Yeah.
blueberry muffin from there specifically.
Oh my, are they good? I've never been
You're
to a
gonna take a
Premier Inn.
photo.
The beds are so good. I love Premier Inn
No,
Oh.
Premier
beds.
Inn is
Oh
very
my
good.
god.
One time when I lived in army housing, our heating went out in the middle of winter, and the army housing people were required to fix it by law. Until they fixed it, they had to put us up in a hotel, and because we had a dog, they had to send us to this really really fancy hotel because I lived in Windsor at the time. I no longer live there. So they sent me to a hotel that was literally a castle practically, because Premier Inn did not accept dogs.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you went to J.K. Rowling's house.
No,
That's
I
crazy.
literally, because I was in school at the time, I made an Instagram post about me staying in Hogwarts because it looked like Hogwarts.
I love this.
Avoid the black mold.
Yeah, but the only bad part was they moved our rooms like 5 times because they were like, oh, you will only need to be here a week, and then it took like 3 weeks for them to fix our boiler.
Yeah.
Army housing everyone, but yeah, that's my little fun bit. We have a minute left on the time. No one has come up with any other questions, so I guess to close things out, we already mentioned how next law will be on Monday, and then there'll be another one this time next week. Take a look at Elle's channel if you want to see both of those, because they will be lovely and wonderful, and Elle's in both of them. And obviously, join the Mythrill Discord, check out the card, which was recently updated to have all of the bio sheets on it now. Because they weren't on it, they were just in a Discord, but now they're also on the card in 2 pages because there's limited space when you don't pay for it. But it's great and we love it and it's fun and we love Marsarcy's art. We hope you all enjoyed today. Again, join the Discord if you haven't already. Another big thank you to my lovely co-host Elle, Chris Chilzo and Lizzie Foxy for being our wonderful special guests and helping us get through all of those many catch-ups today. We're gonna give a lovely big thank you to Sky for making our intro and outro songs. I just call it rats because it doesn't have an actual title, but it gives it the vibes.
I call it brainworms for me.
Yeah, it's cute. We'll be going back to that in the end screen for the final few minutes. For you guys to just have a vibe and listen to. It's also on Sky's YouTube channel, as well as like a bunch of music they've made for the Mythrill SMP, so we recommend you go check it out. Links in the chat. Big thank you to Marsarcy for making mine and Elle's PNGtubers that are on screen, and a big thank you for Kayla for all of the work they do for everyone on the SMP and for making this wonderful background set for the podcast. With that, our next Mythrill Monthly will likely be after the server's finale has concluded. I mentioned at the start of stream, a few more people have come in since then, so I will say once more that the next catch-up will go from everything after Out of Sight, Out of Mind, till the finale, and everything after that is just going to be written catch-ups that you can find in the Discord. And yeah, I had a thought while we were going through this, but I'm going to mention that off stream because you guys do not need to know. But yeah, that is it. So we'll see you all. Well, I will see everybody tomorrow because I'm doing something tomorrow on stream, and we'll see you in Mythrill Monthly. Who knows when? Before the end of the year, probably, most likely, hopefully. Love you guys. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.